Join news at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM and hits 103.9 FM in Accra. In Kumasi, we on Love 99.5 FM and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions. Get radio, TV and online content on the myjoyonline.com interactive app for Android and iOS devices. Coming up, former Finance Minister Seth Terkper criticizes President Akufo-Addo for belatedly accepting responsibility for the economy.
Deleted, and with all due respect again, the record, even after last year, and even going to the IMF program, we were being told, that is the government that has performed.
Meanwhile, President Akufo-Addo highlights the Boko conflict as a paramount security concern for the nation, vowing to employ all available means to address it.
We continue to have so many chieftaincy and land disputes around the country, which tend to be breeding grounds for internal tensions and destabilization. Troubles in Boko.
Also, the NDC says the choice of a running mate for John Dramani Mahama will be shocking as the flag bearer presents his choice to the party for consideration by the highest decision-making bodies.
When the council meets, I believe that we'll surely put a name out, a name that will shake the foundation of the MPP. Currently, they are in cheat begging for people with credibility to come and pay.
In business,
rating agency Fitch expects Ghana to conclude external debt restructuring in the first half of 2024. Details coming up on the Joy Business Report.
These and more coming up with me, Mamiesi Nyamiche Thompson. Let's again now. Former Finance Minister Seth Terkper has criticized President Akufo-Addo for taking responsibility for the challenging state of the economy, suggesting it's so late. Meanwhile, in Parliament, both the minority and majority are gearing up for a heated debate on his address. On Thursday, Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante has more.
And some of the key things President Akufo-Addo spoke about had to do with the state of the nation in terms of security. He speaks about how so many countries in the sub-region are witnessing terrorist activities.
West Africa is under threat of terrorism and violent extremism, rapidly spreading southwards from the Sahel to coastal West Africa. We can no longer take the territorial integrity of our countries for granted.
The president zooms in on regional conflict, the chieftaincy conflict that he says has the potential of causing some major destabilization in the country.
We continue to have so many chieftaincy and land disputes around the country, which tend to be breeding grounds for internal tensions and destabilization. Troubles in Boko.
2024 election being on the horizon, the president is assuring that as the executive president, his government will not do anything to jeopardize the name and the democratic reputation of the country. Well, when the president ended his State of the Nation address, the minority and the majority leaders slugged it out.
Mr. Speaker, we are ready to debate this message now.
Well, it appears the minority side are also already in debate mode.
Our president, following the recent ministerial reshuffle, has increased the size of his government. Mr. Speaker, today we have a Minister of Finance Domestic and a Minister of Finance International.
We can now hear from former Finance Minister Seth Terkper, who believes the president's seeming honesty about the state of the economy is belated.
What happened in May 2023 and what is happening now, and that means that was the worst record. And that's the point I'm making. And I hope you get my point.
I truly get the point. But I was only wondering if you would not commend the president also for taking responsibility for where we are.
Of course, it's deleted, I would say. And with all due respect again, because remember, the record, even after last year, and even going to the IMF program, we were being told, that is the government that has performed.
Former Finance Minister Seth Terkper in an interview with my colleague MFA Powell. Meanwhile, President Akufo-Addo is already coming under fire following his pronouncement that government has paid all debtors under the domestic debt exchange. Contrary to his announcement, a section of the bondholders say they are yet to receive full payment, including their principals. One of them reached out to Joy News and said had not received his coupons.
We purchased the bond 2 years ago. 2 of the coupons were paid, and 2 have not been paid, including the principal. Meanwhile, the bond period is over. When we try to find out from EDC, and CSD, we were told that we have been classified as a local company. So I felt the statement was very wrong. According to the president, 5.8 billion have been paid to all domestic bondholders. It's a blatant lie.
Well, convener of the Pensioners Bondholders Forum, Dr. Edouard Anientri, confirms this.
Pensioners and all other individuals who did not tender in their bonds have been receiving their coupons these days as and when these coupons are due. The government pays these coupons. So that's the only bondholders who are still complaining of not getting their coupons are the companies who did not tender their bonds for the exchange.
Well, the president's last State of the Nation address was characterized by some light moments, and Stanley Niblo captured these in a report read to you. A national anthem preceded chain of activities in the chamber. But the minority will not stop chanting and help us to resist oppressors' rule. But the silence he commanded only lasted a short while, as the formal acknowledgement of the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, attracted roaring chants from the minority side.
We also have His Excellency, the Vice President,
The Speaker was left in a state of worry and could hardly calm the House, this time after acknowledging the presence of former President John Dramani Mahama in the chamber. The minority MPs were clear in their Mahama comeback chants. Finally, President Akufo-Addo assumed the podium to address his fellow Ghanaians. The president crowned his vice president, Dr. Digitalization.
My indefatigable vice president, Dr. Digitalization.
But wait, how well do you know your president? Does the president drink alcohol?
Everybody who knows me knows I don't drink alcohol.
Imagine what was going on in Hassan Ayarga's mind as he sat in the chamber and watched the president take over his CUF title, a title he has held onto since 2012. Stanley Niblo's report read to you. And late.
It
is between myself, pension executives, and the Council of Elders who go through a number of people.
February.
That's the presidential candidate of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, making this announcement back in December. And just before February deadline will elapse, he is presented to the National Executive Council, NEC, which is the party's highest decision body, for consideration and subsequent announcement. A statement signed by the party's General Secretary indicates the timelines for the NEC meeting. Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustafa Bande, says the choice of candidate will come back as a shock to many.
I believe that we'll surely put a name out, a name that will shake the foundation of the MPP. Currently, they are in streets begging for people with credibility to come and pair. They don't have confidence in any of the people they have groomed. They are begging pastors to come and pair them. We have candidates that we believe have the competency, the credibility, the structure to be able to pair with the flag bearer. And I'm not afraid at all that the party will come to a conclusion on an individual that will surely help do the magic for 2024.
Well, in the third part of our series on the struggles of the National Health Insurance Scheme, we take you to the Bono East region, where some subscribers of the scheme are lamenting how they are compelled to pay for almost every service rendered to them. Anasa Beat has today's feature.
I can say most poor people die accidentally because they cannot patronize certain things.
Naomi Dia was a subscriber of the NHIS policy before she decided to opt out. She recounts how some hospital administrators in the Pro East district keyed in drugs covered by the scheme, only for her to be told to buy the medicine from outside the facility.
I experienced something like that in precisely Yeji, but I wouldn't mention the name of the hospital. They queue in, all right, but the prescription was given to me at the store to go out and buy the drug. So in this way, are you not duping the state? It goes back into individual pockets.
This gentleman here, who asked to be interviewed on anonymity, says the scheme is worse off today as subscribers of the NHIA are made to pay for almost every service provided by the various health facilities.
Oh, I think it's getting bad because the last time I visited the hospital, they asked me to even pay for the card they gave me because it was my first time going to that hospital, before even seeing the doctor.
And that's Sabi's report bringing us to the end of this morning's bulletin. In our top story, former Finance Minister Seth Terkper criticizes President Akufo-Addo for belatedly accepting responsibility for the economy. I am Amazing Amateur Thompson. Up next is business on the Super Morning Show.
Mothers of Africa. Mommy, my day in your one.
And what's the Wofa Geisha Semina Subain? Gina Hopinti na Kowenim. Mempaba, cause the second Sabeka we need a swadina.
Matamame, Megina painting a comenim, na machapa to say Geisha Semina.
Sankratway, FD Ajiatu.
Hello? Yeah, Kofi. Charlie, we spoke about going to Imperial for our motor insurance today.
Share. Are you the one to remind me? I am at Imperial already.
What?
I told you about their motor insurance promo, right?
Yeah.
This time it is reloaded, my brother.
Wow.
Imperial General is saying, come insure with them from now till the end of April and get yourself handsome rewards. 4 coupons, special souvenirs, gift vouchers, and many, many more. And here's the catch. During this reward period, your motor insurance policy will give you an automatic 1-year life insurance cover, my brother. And now you can also get brand new tires and other car accessories as well. It is really reloaded. Everybody qualifies. Just insure your car and you are done.
Hey, Charlie, I hear I can even do it online and still get my reward.
Oh yes, don't slow. Talk to your broker, agent, or call us on 0577 667 436 for further details. You can also follow us on all our socials. T's and C's apply. Imperial General Assurance. Solid protection.
Millennium Insurance has enhanced its motor insurance policy cover to make life more comfortable for you, our valued clients, and in the event of vehicle breakdown whilst on the road. To ensure your safety and that of your vehicle, Millennium Insurance will ensure that your broken down vehicle is towed to a safe place within 1 hour of call and 30 kilometers radius from the place of breakdown. This service is absolutely free. Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner, is on standby to be of service to you. Contact us now on 0501 394 997 or 0501 285 821, 0501 394 997 or 0501 285 821.
Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that. Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panza. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Only basic bank at your service. We've got what you need for your business and family. Whatever you need, you can call on us. Only basic bank. Only basic bank is for all. We've got the best
your service.
No matter your water needs, Syntex has it all. Syntex Tank was first to introduce double layer tank, and now you can have as many layers as you want. Syntex Tank was first to introduce white inner layer tanks in Ghana, and now introduces the customer specs order, which will let you order any color and size you want. Syntex Tanks gives you the biggest warranty of 7 years, which no other tank gives you. So whatever your water consumption, size of project, or demand, choose Syntex Tank. Syntex Tank, stress-free. Syntex Tank, reliable. Syntex Tank, maximum guarantee. Call 0244 335 168, Kumasi 0505 555 666, or visit syntexgh.com. Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough.
Wafu Biscuit.
Good morning, Kujo. How are you doing?
Charlie Midiepan.
Oh, great.
So the president has delivered the State of the Nation address. And look, amongst the things he touts as, successes, once again, the Attorney General's office comes up for praise. But my goodness, what praise? Apparently, the Attorney General, by defending the state against judgment debt cases, has saved over 10 trillion Ghana cedis. Don't take my word for it. Listen to the president.
The Attorney General has continued in a very effective manner the tradition under this administration of contesting every single litigation against the state and has avoided the numerous judgment debts that used to be given against the state. The Office of the Attorney General, as a result, has saved the country over 10 trillion Ghana cedis. All the evidence is there.
Why do you put yourself in that position in the first place?
Which position?
Of having to pay.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, some of these judgments were given years and years ago. Some of them, date back 10 years, 15, 20 years. But an Attorney General on any given day still has to defend the state against them. Now, I do know that this particular Attorney General, since he was sworn in 2021, right, as Attorney General, has not actually lost any judgment debt case in which he's defended the state. He's not lost any yet. There are many that are still ongoing, but he hasn't actually conceded any judgment debt in any case that he has represented the state on. So he has a very good record, but the number, the 10 billion cedis, is the one I'm interested in. Trillion. What am I saying? Billion. 10 billion. Yes. 10 trillion. Hey. Anyway, later today, the Attorney General will actually be speaking to Joy News on this, and so we'll get some clarity. How do we calculate this 10 trillion? Because it be wumpa.
That's huge money. Yeah.
Anyway, either way, whatever the figure is, it's good that we haven't been conceding judgment debts, because there was a time when almost every week there's a judgment debt, and I mean even the courts criticize the state for it, criticize the government for it. They called it create, loot, and share. So no, we've come from somewhere. And judgment debt has been a problem before. It was an avenue for corruption, and so if that is no longer the case, good on them. But 10 trillion,
that's huge.
All right. The 6 a.m. news was brought to us by Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. And Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner. Of course, you know what that means. It means it's time for the Joy Business Report, coming to you now, thanks to Omni Basic Bank, at your service.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up this morning, rating agency Fitch expects Ghana to conclude its external debt restructuring by the end of June this year. Also, government urged to show more transparency as it moves to complete some 13 priority delayed projects this fiscal year. Also, total value of mobile money accounts held at commercial banks for last year reaches over 18 billion cedis. Details coming up. My name is Daryl Khan. Thanks for being with us this morning. Hello to our friends listening on KTU Radio in Koforidua. Rating agency Fitch expects Ghana to conclude its external debt restructuring by the end of the first half of this year. Ghana recently agreed to debt restructuring terms with official creditors, but Fitch says it does not expect this to significantly affect the banking sector. Here's more in this report.
In its latest assessment on Ghana, the UK-based firm said all things being equal, Ghana would conclude its external debt restructuring program with the Eurobond holders by June this year. The nation reached an agreement with its bilateral creditors in January and is expected to agree on terms of restructuring with the commercial creditors by the end of the second half of this year. It also pointed out that banks have limited exposure to Eurobonds and are likely to have taken impairments for these already. It added that the loan quality of banks is still at risk from the macroeconomic fallout due to the sovereign default, but the risk to the banking sector is limited by the small size of the loan. However, it stressed that capitalization is highly sensitive to Ghana's local currency creditworthiness, as exposure to local currency government bonds is high relative to capital.
That was a Business Desk report. Now, economist Dr. Patrick Isuming is calling for more transparency as the government moves to complete some 13 priority delayed projects this year. According to him, the government will be left with no option than to rely on savings accrued from the domestic debt exchange program to complete the delayed projects. Dr. Isuming was reacting to President Akufo-Addo's assurance that government is working to complete external debt restructuring with bilateral creditors to enable the country to restart stalled projects during his State of the Nation address in Parliament.
We made a lot of savings from the domestic debt exchange alone. Now we finished we have made progress with the bilateral one, the foreign bilateral one. But the domestic debt exchange alone, we made a lot of savings. Those savings, as far as I know, were not accounted for in the budget that we read. The budget that was read, the 2024 budget, it didn't tell us, it didn't really give us an accounting of the savings that we made from the domestic debt exchange.
Meanwhile, the business community is asking for the speedy settlement of the energy sector debt to ensure reliable power supply. Chonam Akpelo is Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Association of Ghana Industries.
We only hope and pray that some of these interventions that are promised are urgent and are done very quickly, because of this power instability, most of our industries are being closed. If you go to part of the industrial enclave in Tema, you would typically see business leaders frustrated about the challenge they're facing with power. As a result, they have to either close down some of their plants and or shut down the entire production process. And we're saying that there has to be urgent steps to be taken to resolve the issue around power.
Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Association of Ghana Industries, Chonam Akpelo. Now, the total value of mobile money accounts held with commercial banks reached over 18 billion cedis at the end of last year. That's according to the 2023 FinTech report released by the Bank of Ghana. Here's more.
Described as balance on float, the loss covering operations of mobile money companies in Ghana required the telcos hold these accounts with the commercial banks. So, for instance, if someone has about 10,000 Ghana cedis on his or her wallet, that money will be kept at a particular bank. The move was to ensure the commercial banks are not left out of this whole mobile money growth and transaction. The FinTech report puts the balance of float ending December 2023 at 18.3 billion Ghana cedis, representing a 40% jump from what was recorded in 2022. The total value of mobile money transaction ending December 2023 reached 1.9 trillion Ghana cedis. This also represents almost 80% jump from what was recorded in 2022. The FinTech report put the total registered customer account ending 2023 at 65.6 million, up by 19% from what was posted in 2023.
The Acting Commissioner of Insurance, Michael Andor, has indicated the National Insurance Commission's resolve to enhance customer satisfaction by addressing unsettled issues surrounding insurance claims. To this end, the Commission has launched the Complaints Management System, an online portal which allows customers to send unresolved claims grievances to the regulator. Ms. Andor said the move, which leverages technology, will create a convenient resolution process for customers and improve service delivery in the insurance sector.
I spoke about the
attitude towards complaints. When you are doing business with someone, he has a grievance, he has a complaint. It is important to respond to those complaints so that you take care of the person. And that is what I address. And this system is supposed to help us to do that.
You had Michael Andor, Acting Commissioner of the NIC. Now, the Minister of Works and Housing, Kojo Oppong-Kuma, is asking players in the housing industry to review some key policies to ward off challenges that could affect the growth of the sector. According to him, the sector has been bedeviled with so many challenges and there's a need for a proper regulatory framework. Mr. Oppong-Kuma expressed government's readiness to explore all available opportunities that would help close a huge housing gap in the country. He was speaking at the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association's annual CEO's breakfast meeting.
Cost of financing for housing remains a barrier that we have to urgently overcome. Our low savings culture as a country over the years has contributed to the non-availability of low-cost and long-term financing to support the sector. Alternative avenues such as savings funds or funds drawn from insurance or other patient money sources need to be quickly explored.
Kojo Oppong-Kuma is Minister of Works and Housing. Now, the General Agricultural Workers Union, GAWU, has disputed assertions by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture that it has reduced the smuggling of fertilizer by 70%. GAWU maintains Ghana has made little progress in stopping smuggling of cocoa and fertilizer across borders, resulting in the country losing millions of dollars. General Secretary Dr. Edward Carraway said the price differentials and the poor border checks make Ghana vulnerable to smuggling.
We are not committed to stopping smuggling, and therefore we have not put in place the needed mechanisms to stop the smuggling of fertilizer or any goods that we don't want it to be smuggled. And I would say that in any case, Ghana cannot be so sensitive and concerned about smuggling of fertilizer more than the smuggling of cocoa.
General Secretary of GAWU, Dr. Edward Carraway. The Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Company, BOST, has justified the 3 peso increase in margins, insisting it's needed to expand infrastructure and stabilize the prices at the pumps. It's coming after the National Petroleum Authority increased the margins to 12 pesos per litre on all products earlier this month. However, some consumers are worried about the impact on the pricing of petroleum products. Dr. Edwin Provincial is Chief Executive of BOST.
When they gave us the 3 pesos increment, increasing it from 3 to 6 pesos, Ghanaians saw the impact it had on our infrastructure. We were able to bring up all the dead infrastructure. We couldn't do all of it. When it was increased again, we were able to do something. We will try and optimize whatever we have, despite the circumstances, even though it's not up to what we need.
Dr. Edwin Provincial, the Chief Executive of the Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Company. Now, turning to the commodity market, crude oil increased marginally, open trading at $83 a barrel. Gold dropped marginally to $2,030 an ounce. Cocoa also lost more than $100. It's selling this morning at $6,455 a ton. Now, Finance Director of the Guinness Ghana Breweries, Justin Molel, says the African Continental Free Trade Area will serve as a strategic opportunity to enhance its operations across the continent. Speaking to Joy Business, he hinted that the ratification of the trade deal protocols will be critical to enhance intra-border trade. He spoke to Joy Business at the Guinness Ghana Media Forum held in Accra. Now, we are inching closer to Ghana Month, where we celebrate our heritage and our culture. While on the Joy Business van today, we highlight how furniture design company Tekura is projecting Ghanaian culture and artistry around the world. Audrey Forson is Managing Director of Tekura. The Ghanaian furniture design company started in the year 2000 by her parents.
This is a table. Okay. The midsection has been carved and the top was turned. You can see the chisel marks are used to form patterns.
Wood carving is typically done on a small scale in Ghana, with most artisans based in small villages in the Ashanti and Eastern regions. The carved items are usually made for the export market.
When we first started out, before I even joined, it was strictly an export business. Ghanaians, your typical Ghanaian, wouldn't patronize a carved mask or table or whatever item it is. So it's been a journey of moving from just expatriate clients to, covering the domestic, the local market as well.
All right, full episode 1 p.m. right after the Joy Business Report and 5 p.m. on Business Live on the Joy News channel. Let's check the currency market as we conclude this morning. The dollar going for 12 cedis, 87 pesos. On the retail market, the pound also going for 16 cedis, 3 pesos, and the euro going for 13 cedis, 78 pesos. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. That's it. My name is Daryl. Wow, thanks for listening. The Super Morning Show continues with Koji Youngson. We are inching closer to 13 cedis to $1. It could happen anytime soon. Yeah.
It's a good time to have dollars.
And especially when the president touts the city stability. I mean, we heard him talk about that. Makes you wonder.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to take my life in my hands. I'm about to take a massive risk, which might actually affect many things in my life, including my rent.
Okay.
Yes. I'm about to attempt to say the title of a song in Ghana.
Okay.
So this is Carl Clotte's song that we are about to play as inspirational song. But Ani Noko Waha Yesulo. Ani Noko Waha Yesulo.
It doesn't make sense what you're saying. Please. Just allow the music to play, Coach.
All right,
we'll figure it out.
I tried. Sami Odami says what?
Kojo said you are work in progress. Take your time. We'll work on your gun.
This is not work in progress. The work has not even started.
I'm trying.
Let's get to our Drive Safe campaign, because if this is what you're going to do as we get close to Ghana Month, they will have to.
Anyway, good morning, Raymond.
Good morning. I see. I recognize when people are putting in the effort.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
I think that it shall work out.
Thank
They
you.
say it right in Ghana.
Effort is not results.
Let's in a country where effort is celebrated. Let's go for our Drive Safe campaign, brought to us by Joy News and the Multimedia Group, and supported by Toyota Superior Quality
Enemies
and
all
Imperial
around.
General Assurance, Solid Protection. So the tip today says monitor your blind spots and stay out of others' blind spots. A key part of being a defensive driver is understanding your own blind spots and staying out of other drivers' blind spots. While new cars come with safety features like blind spot detection, if that one gets spot, now wahala, it doesn't guarantee that other vehicles around you are also equipped with this feature. Defensive driving means being aware of your personal vehicle's blind spots before you hit the road and staying on alert for whether you are in the blind spot of any drivers around you at all times. And that's how to drive safely.
All right, that's a good tip. Let's learn how to say it right now, which is brought to us by Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks, and Societe Generale Bank Ghana, the future is you.
Something must be done.
You say either, I say either.
The President's State of the Nation address yesterday was interesting. Although I was somewhat disappointed he didn't touch on his recent reshuffle. I had hoped that he would give some context to the choices he made in that exercise, just to demonstrate that he hadn't just moved appointees around based on his own whims and caprices. Whims and caprices. What a lovely expression. Oh, and I hope you took note of how to say it right. It's whims and caprices, not whims and caprices. Whims, W-H-I-M-S, whims, not whims. Sudden desires or an inexplicable change of heart, whims. Caprices, not caprices. Caprices, C-A-P-R-I-C-E-S, caprices, sudden unaccountable changes of behavior. So when people make decisions that seem to defy reason, they are said to be pandering to their whims and caprices. Is that what the president did with this recent reshuffle? Well, he didn't explain himself, so perhaps we'll never know. But we do know now how to say it right.
Let's call it over.
All right, then let's get into the news review brought to us by Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough, and enterprise insurance at 100. Yafini promotion, celebrating our legacy, securing your future.
Let me start with the Daily Graphic and its reporting this morning. State of the Nation address yesterday. Face tomorrow with confidence. President rallies citizens. That's the biggest story on the front page, and Donald Atoda Patem has that story. There is high unemployment rate was missing. That's the minority leader, and SONA reflects country's condition. These are some experts that the Daily Graphic has reviewed and submitted here. Work with parties for credible elections. The president also spoke to the Electoral Commission of the Republic of Ghana and meteorological experts to announce 2024 seasonal forecast on Friday. And that is supposed to be, today is what, Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
So in 48 hours. And government pays 694 million Ghana cedis to Ghana Water Company to cover debts and expenditure all in those areas. Good news, it appears, but what happens with water supply? Because I've not been having water for God knows how long. I don't know if they have changed the seasons.
Well, I mean, I have never had water from Ghana Water, so it's normal.
Yeah, same with me.
So how do you put survival?
Borehole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
The Daily Guide newspaper. Do you want to join us or you want to wait for Ghana Water? The Daily Guide newspaper, front page, Kumasi Airport. So this is all fallout of the President's State of the Nation address yesterday. Kumasi Airport named after Prempeh the First. I will ensure free, fair elections, says President Akufo-Addo, and we've made huge investments in judiciary. Also, NDC select running mate March 7. We're told that a name has been presented to the party. Performance tracker coming as well. All fallouts of that State of the Nation address. Just one more. Renowned high life musician KK Kabobo is facing a health crisis as he battles liver disease, prompting a call for urgent assistance from the public.
Now, the new finder for today says minority leader unhappy with president's silence on unemployment. 5.8 billion Ghana cedis paid to bond holders. I take both blame and credit for my government's performance. President Akufo-Addo and NDC to meet to consider Mahama's choice of running mate. Unless something dramatic happens, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman will be the running mate.
It says you.
Unless.
Well, we have actually been told that something dramatic is going to happen.
Well, so if that's something dramatic
So we should expect something dramatic.
Then it wouldn't be here.
But certainly it cannot be Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman if the drama is expected in there.
Well,
because there's nothing dramatic about repeating what you already know.
Unless something dramatic happens.
Yes, so
we like drama.
Yes, we want to see the drama.
March 7 is just around the corner.
Please, we want to see the drama.
Let's wait and
do
see.
something
before you die.
Anyway.
All right. Okay then, listen guys, let's very quickly do the online review because I want us to spend a bit of time on the State of the Nation address as quickly as possible. So the online review brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy.
Now, navigating through the hurdles of an SME can be very stressful and sometimes even risky. But what is life without risk and a business owner without the Zenith SME Business Card? The Zenith SME Business Card is a Visa debit card tailor-made for SMEs for secure payments for goods and services. As a Zenith SME Business Card holder, you can actually access business services at discounted rates, Visa practical training skills, 24/7 access to funds, and much more. Your business deserves to be taken to the next level. So unlock that potential of your business today with a Zenith SME Business Card. For more information about the Zenith SME Business Card, call Zenith Direct on 0302 680 884 or 0307 086370 or visit zenithbank.com.gh. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
All right, well, semantics at play in politics. Akufo-Addo's free SHS improvement, not the same as Mahama's review, according to Richard Ahiagba. Whatever. Also, Ghana's macroeconomic indicators are not pointing in the right direction. Professor Bokpin is the one who makes that claim. Go and read about that and other stories on myjoyonline.com, citynewsroom.com this morning. The big one is reject anti-LGBTQ plus bill. Professor Gajapo tells Akufo-Addo, and she states her reasons. Let's now see what's on CNN. And today, it's all about the U.S. elections. Warning signs for Biden and Trump in Michigan. All right, then. So, listen, I want us to very quickly have a look at what the president had to say yesterday. A few excerpts here. But listen, if you're tuned in, this is about you. We definitely want to know your take on the president's State of the Nation. So we'll be coming to you in just a moment to hear your thoughts, all right? But first, a quick recap of a couple of things the president said.
On 20th February 2024, the second coupon of 5.8 billion cedis was paid to domestic bondholders. This is the largest coupon paid in a day in Ghana's history. There's no ambiguity about where the buck stops. When it comes to responsibility, it stops with the president. The president is responsible and therefore takes the credit or the blame for whatever happens in his or her government. We're committed to concluding the external debt restructuring process as soon as possible, so we move past the crisis. This will enable us to complete substantially projects that have been constrained due to financial challenges. This government, after all, is the digitalization government, and the man who has led the entire digitalization process these past 7 years, my indefatigable Vice President, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, I'm glad to be able to say, so far, so good. We've managed to keep the lights on these last 7 years, even in the midst of a financial crisis. I'm particularly glad that the fears about lowering of standards have been allayed. Refreshingly, we witnessed through the 2023 batch of free SHS students the best WACC results in over a decade. It is important to underline that the recent change in the leadership of the finance ministry will not affect government's commitment to implementing the terms agreed with the IMF to ensure that we restore the economy to healthy growth as soon as possible.
Yeah. All right, Churchill.
So, I mean, the president has talked about a lot of things, but a few things caught my attention. The fact that the president talks about, the macroeconomic indicators showing that we are on the right track, positive signs. I just want to share the Old Mutual Financial Services, survey, okay? It will tell you, for instance, what people make of the Ghanaian economy. So, 78% of the working Ghanaians have no confidence in this economy that we're running. 78%. 2/3 of the Ghanaians, working Ghanaians, are financially stressed. Now, if what Dr. Bawumia said in 2022 April is anything to go by, and I agree with him, that the state of the economy is what you feel and how you feel in your pocket, this is a sign to the president that times may not be as good as he wants us to believe. The good thing is that, I mean, for the first time we hear Akufo-Addo admitting the problems in this country. But admitting, as good as it may be, must not end there. If you admit the problems, you move a step further and tell us measures you're putting in place to mitigate the challenges that we are faced with. That is what was missing. Of course, I have always insisted that one of the things I take about a State of the Nation address, and the president talks about, we are here. He says he is not going to bring a book, so he's going to use a performance tracker, which will be launched in March, to tell us what he's done, and you can go and check. And he also talks about a few things that he intends to do. But what I would have wanted to hear the president say, for instance, is the fact that because of these challenges, and I understand that happenings of the last 3-4 years may have impacted our growth or our development from 2017 to 2019. And so because of that, I'm going to do this and that for you. That for me would have made my day. Because in admitting, we say, yes, Mr. President, you've done well. But having said that also, I need to make this other point. Look, President Akufo-Addo has talked about he taking the ban. People have asked the question, what does it mean? What does that mean? The most important thing for me is my pocket. And today, can we say that based on what President Akufo-Addo said to us yesterday, there is hope for the future? I say, I do not feel that hope. It's good admitting, but I don't feel that hope. President Akufo-Addo and his government, and he says he's not a lame, dark president. President Akufo-Addo has a lot to do within the next 10 months, including removal of taxes. Because you cannot go to the IMF and tell us that your program will be based on enhanced revenue generation when you have a gap of $24 billion, according to the vice president. That is not what you're seeking to collect, but you're seeking to introduce new taxes to burden us who are already suffering. How?
The fact that he sounded a bit apologetic yesterday for me was very refreshing, because I thought that he had either checked out, was not aligned with what the people are feeling on the ground. So that for me, I liked very much the fact that it wasn't too much of Russia, Ukraine, taking a bit of responsibility. But I agree with you. What's the hope? What else was there for me to look forward to in the future?
I actually think he missed a very wonderful opportunity to set a new course. He said that we should be hopeful, but the reality is about what specifically?
Yeah.
Where is the actual hope that we should be hanging on to? Inflation at 23%, what is that? Because I mean, in all fairness, when you tell us that we used to be at 54 and we are come to 23, to some it will sound like extremely good news. But who said that we should have been at 54 in the first place? And why is anybody so excited about 23 when 15.4 in 2016 was a terrible thing? So let's not get it wrong. We didn't just land in this particular situation. I was expecting that not long ago, when the head of the economic management team had proposed very wonderful things, specifically reduce taxes, do specific things, cut off this part, reduce ministers, I was expecting that the president will say, I'm beginning that process because it appears to me that even my economic management team is of the opinion that's the best way to go. So, from this statement, I've told you that, well, I can admit all of these things. But in the next 10 months, start with this. Half of my ministers are being taken off. This number of people are also going. I'm taking off this number of taxes to make sure that we get to that particular stage that we find ourselves in. Everybody who can convince us that this is not reasonable, except the president believes that what Dr. Bawumia is proposing is not reasonable. It's not feasible. It's not something that anybody can have hope in.
He is the executive president.
Yes, and he even praised him. So the understanding, and let's not kid ourselves, the entire role of Mahmoud Bawumia was to fix the economy. Right from when he was appointed. You remember that powerful speech?
Yesterday was not about Dr. Bawumia. Yesterday was about the president.
I think you are missing the point. I'm saying that the president could have had an opportunity to tell this country that I've listened properly. After all the reflections, I've come to the conclusion Bawumia was all the way right. So I'm taking just 4 of the things he said I should do. E-levy, the other tax reductions, and specifically reducing the number of people I have as ministers.
But of course, look, Raymond, so the other point, I said that this is the first time that a president, has not gone to his usual blaming of COVID-19, Russia, Ukraine.
Yeah.
He just talked about this. So this is the first time you see a departure from that. But having said that also, I need to make this point, that the president talks about having paid, bondholders. But there's another problem. Now, companies that opted out of the DDEP have not been paid.
Yeah.
We've been talking about individual bondholders, but the companies that decided, and these are not financial companies, other companies that decided, they've not been paid. So there are companies today that are, actually struggling because they have not been paid for refusing to be part of the domestic debt exchange program.
But to be fair, he didn't say that they have paid
everybody. No, I'm not saying they paid everybody, but I'm just
anyway
reminding the president that there are companies that have not been paid.
Anyway, guys, very quickly, I have a radical view. I don't think the president was accepting blame. If you listen very carefully to what he said, you see, you have to understand. It doesn't make sense whenever you try to assume that the president and the vice president are of the same mind. There is too much evidence against that. Look, what he actually said was, he is the executive. He is the executive. So he takes the credit and the blame. But then he also said it would be an unwise president who does not heed the advice of his advisors. But after saying that everyone else in the executive is an advisor, right? He then said it would be unwise of a president not to listen to his advisors. To me, that is a backhanded way of saying that anybody who claims that he was only a trotro mate, think again. Because president, I'm saying that I was listening to their advice. For me, it's not an apology. For me, it's not an acceptance of blame. For me, it is an attempt to rope Bawumia back in to the track record of his government. And it is quite typical of the president. It is quite typical. It matches so many of the other decisions he's made recently. They seem to be aimed at torpedoing the chances of his vice president, whether deliberately or accidentally. And that's my take on it. But it's your take that matters. We want to know what you think about what the president had to say yesterday. So we'll open the phone lines. We'll hear from you when we come back from these messages. Stay with us.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
It's a century of safeguarding dreams with Enterprise Insurance. In the spirit of our 100th anniversary, Enterprise Insurance revs it up with Yafinia Motor Promotion. One lucky winner will cruise around in a sleek brand new Nissan Kicks SUV. First and second runner-ups will jet off to Dubai for an all-expense paid escape. Renew or get your vehicle insurance between January and June 2024 and win free fuel coupons. Monthly raffle draws give you cool gadgets like laptops, Samsung phones, microwaves, gas cooker, tabletop fridge, and many more. Enterprise Insurance Yafinia Motor Promotion is on at all our branches. Call your broker or agent to buy or renew your motor insurance and make history with Enterprise Insurance at 100. Celebrating our legacy, securing your future. Time-tested, truly trusted. That's the Enterprise Advantage. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Enterprise, your advantage.
Mothers of Africa. Mommy, my day in your hoarding.
And what's the Wofa Geisha Semina Subain? Gina Hopinti Nako Winim. Mempaba, cause the Wonsa Becca we need a swadi nina.
Matamame, Megina painting Akomenim, Namachapa to say Geisha Semina. Be strong and
Sankratway, FD Ajiatu.
Honey, I know you're a bit hard up now, so I've decided to sell the gold necklace you bought for me, so at least we can pay our rent.
Wow, that's so nice of you. But you see, there's just one problem though. Then the necklace, is actually not real gold.
So it's not real gold, it's real what?
It looks like gold, but it's actually fake.
So all this while I've been walking around thinking there's real gold on my neck, not knowing it's Galamsey chain.
Honey, I'm so sorry.
Oh, sorry for yourself. No wonder you're broke. You continue being broke, sir.
Don't wait till a rainy day to realize you've been played. Times are hard. Invest right. Invest with iVest, the smart fixed-term investment account from Isway that gives you real value. iVest, real returns for real people. Call Isway now on 0302-208-222 or text iVest to 4993 to get started. Isway, your trusted financial solutions partner. Isway is a member of the Ghana Deposit Protection Corporation.
Dear business owner, congrats on not giving up on your business. You deserve a medal, and your business deserves to be taken to the next level. In fact, it's about time you run a Zenith Bank SME account so you and your business can enjoy the perks of a Zenith SME business card. Oga and Oga Madam status.
The Zenith SME Business Card is a Visa debit card for making secure payments for goods and services. Enjoy great benefits such as free customized digital SME training, free marketing toolkits, access to Visa practical skills training, and more. Unlock the potential of your business today. Visit any Zenith Bank branch nationwide and sign up for the Zenith SME Business Card, the ultimate payment solution for SMEs. For more information, visit www.zenithbank.com.gh or call 0302-680-884 or 0307-086-370. Zenith Bank, in your best interests.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
All right, it's 7 o'clock on the dot, and today we're not going to bring you the BBC News, sponsored by Fidelity Bank, believe with us, and Old Mutual, 10 years of greatness in Ghana, here for a lifetime. We would normally be bringing that to you at this time. We will resume normal service from tomorrow. Today, though, State of the Nation is on our minds, and I definitely want to know what you think about what the president had to say. So many things were touched on, but it wasn't all serious. It was also quite amusing. I'm going to share a very quick report with you, but in the meantime, call us 0302-216-541 and 055-1111-997. Your thoughts on the State of the Nation address. It was eventful.
A national anthem preceded chain of activities in the chamber. But the minority will not stop chanting. But the silence he commanded only lasted a short while, as the formal acknowledgement of the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, attracted roaring chants from the minority side.
We also have His Excellency, the Vice President, Dr.
The Speaker was left in a state of worry and could hardly calm the House, this time after acknowledging the presence of former President John Dramani Mahama in the chamber. The minority MPs were clear in their Mahama comeback chants. Finally, President Akufo-Addo assumed the podium to address his fellow Ghanaians. The president crowned his vice president, Dr. Digitalization.
My indefatigable vice president, Dr. Digitalization.
But wait, how well do you know your president? Does the president drink alcohol?
Everybody who knows me knows I don't drink alcohol.
Imagine what was going on in Hassan Ayarga's mind as he sat in the chamber and watched the president take over his CUF title, a title he has held onto since 2012.
Benjamin is on the line from Adenta. Good morning, Benjamin.
Yeah, good morning, Kojo. How are you?
My brother, I'm very well. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, and thank you so much for always opening the phone lines for us. I realized among your panel or your other hosts or co-hosts, you are the one who always wants us to talk. Thank you so much. It's very shameful, and I'll begin by saying that if our president doesn't drink alcohol, and this is where he has landed the economy, then one wonders if he ever tried alcohol. I don't know where we would have been today. He was unapologetic at all. After landing this economy where it is now, one wonders, so many years after independence, you'll be thinking that today we would have been in paradise. Then talking about Dr. Bawumia as an indefatigable person, today he said it's digitalization. Yesterday, he said he was an economist. So what is going on? Russia, Ukraine, thank God, today he did not even mention it. COVID-19, that's what they always say. And today, Kojo, the system is so bad that I went to my bank and my relationship officer showed me some figures and I was so surprised. I was going to buy treasury bills and he was advising me against it. Even that can be affected. The economy is so bad, and you are thinking that why wouldn't the president be apologizing, go down on his knees and bow out, but rather appointing more people, giving another portfolio to his cousin Oforiata? It's so shameful.
Thank you, Benjamin. Always good to hear from you. You can call us too. You know the number 0302216541 055-1111-997. Ashaiman is our next stop. Hello, Hamza. Good morning.
Good morning, Kojo.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you for the good work, and thank you for the good work you are doing for Ghana.
Bless you.
And I always advise you, once you to be careful of your heart, my brother. Kojo, even not shocking, not long ago, this same president came to Parliament to tell Ghanaians that for the sterling leadership of his vice president, even though we were under IMF from 2016, 17, 18, And then we knew for the fact that when we go to IMF, things get better. We take credit and then credited the vice president for steering leadership. Then today, this same person comes to say that he takes the blame and not the vice president, just because he thinks all Ghanaians are like MPP supporters, and then we will believe in this. What kind of double standard is this?
Hamza has asked a question. You can ask yours too by calling us 0302-216-541, 055-111-997. We're talking about the State of the Nation address, and we certainly want to know where you stand on it all. Hello, Gabriel.
Good morning, Kojo.
My brother, how is Sogakope this morning?
I think this morning you are kicking and doing very well, Sogakope.
Yeah, we thank God.
Yes, I first I want to thank you for your program every morning, giving me new words to take to classroom.
God bless you.
I'm very happy for that. Yes. Kojo, you know something? I think yesterday I listened to the president. I think for once I must congratulate you for not showing arrogance on stage. We thank God. We thank you very much for that. But Kojo, the kind of system economy we are running now, I think it's killing us. Yesterday, I don't think he couldn't try to compare us to Russia, Ukraine, making anything like COVID-19. He realized that he has already plunged this economy into a ditch, and going out is very difficult. So we were prepared for Mahama to come and rescue this nation from this nation records. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gabriel. Nene is in Dansuman. Hi, Nene.
Hi, could you please? How are you?
Please, I'm fine. Yourself?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay.
So yesterday.
Oh, could you? As for me, to be very honest, I didn't listen to it because there's nothing to listen to. My only problem is that we as a country, we as citizens, we are not angry enough. Yeah, we are not angry enough. And the political elite have realized this, that they can say all they want, whether it makes sense or not. People, Ghanaians will buy into it, and we will live by it every day. Other than that, why wouldn't people march up at the Parliament House yesterday, holding placards to let the president know how we feel? A president that can tell his citizens that I brought somebody for you to vote for, and because you didn't vote for the person, that's why I'm not looking at your aim for development. Somebody that people queue, understand, to go and vote for you to serve them. When you said, "Oh, give me the chance to serve you," then you can tell even the chiefs that went there that day. I was even surprised they were still sitting there and listening to him. The political elite do not respect the citizens, especially this current government. Other than that, why would the president still be increasing the number of ministers and still make Oforiatta still a member of this government? We are not angry enough, and this is how we will be until the citizens wake up and tell the people in power that we put them there. They either do what we want or they should get the hell out.
Tough words there from Nene in Dansuman. You can share your thoughts as well. Call us 0302-216-541 or 055-111-997. Let's take a journey to the west. PK is in Takrady. PK, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
My brother, good to hear from you.
Yes. So, we are looking at President Akufo-Addo, there's a criminal report.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. So what are we saying? 8 years ago, before you came, you have to call the house and find out if you have electricity before you go home. Today, that problem is no longer there. Before you came, we had a problem of children going to bed. It was a problem. Today, that problem is no longer there because we took a step that every Ghanaian youth to go to school free, whether boarding or day. And that is how come the big industrial companies, they are where they are because of education. We used to have that problem where transferring money from one account to the other was a problem. Today, after 7 years of Akufo-Addo's presidency, We don't have it anymore. We used to have unemployed studies, and it was suggested to us that we should go and start grass and then put it at the roadside and sell, or gather stones and put it at the roadside and look for track and sell. After 8 years of approval by this government, we don't have it anymore. Yes, we may not have liked everything that we have done, of all the things and everything. If a president has the foresight to commit governance money to the education of children, including my two girls who had free education, and let me tell you, they said the people today, they went to UK, they are the top of their class. So if he has done that, I will salute the people in spite of all the things, of all the things that people will say. If these things are no longer there today, I salute you, everybody. That is all I have to say.
All right, thank you, PK. And Kaswa is our next stop. And Akwesi, good morning.
What is that?
Every time we talk to you in Kaswa, it sounds like an international call. How's everything, Akwesi?
We are managing.
Talk to us.
The president and his people, they are all confidence trickers. They talk about education as if what they had in their time, what they are implementing now. He said, what the education has been, the result has been the best they've ever produced. They should go back and see how shambolic the free education has been. Students came to school for only 8 weeks. So the Form 1, they are now going home on vacation. Education has become a traffic. And when we talk about review, then I hear about come and tell you a review of Mahama is not the same as the review of the president. Has that one forgotten the meaning of the word review? Or then they should go back to their Dankwa institutes to give them the meaning of review so that they stop deceiving us. Confidence fixers. How can you be paying CCDs for examination? CCDs for examination on each subject, and they are paying CCDs for examination. Go to the secondary school and find out how they are writing exams. The Form 1s who are now going home, there will no exam. They say class test. Teachers should write tests on the board. This era age, they call it digitization. Secondary school, they should write exam on the board for students to do before they go home. Pity. Thank you.
Thank you, Akwesi. All right. Let's take one more call, all right? Peter is in Teshi. Hi, Peter.
Yeah, Kojo, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
How are you?
Yeah, God is in control.
Are you sure you're okay?
Well, I mean, I'll fake it till I make it.
Kojo, this man said, our president said, there's no doing so. Do you know yesterday night our light is off?
Oh, mine too.
About 3 hours. It came back. After 1 hour, it went off. It's only this done before it came back. I don't know. The thing is, if you are doing the load shedding, just let us know. That, yes, today, Tuesday, is your day. Everybody prepare. But these people, they are just telling lie all over the place. Issue, the time is catching up with them, but they are still telling lie. How can the whole president come and talk without saying anything about unemployment? Just go and say that he's doing better. Bawumia should come and continue. We are waiting for Bawumia. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Thanks to all of you who called us. We certainly appreciate your contribution to our show. Interesting thoughts, eh?
Yes, I think people have a very different appreciation of the state of the nation from what the president thinks and believes is really the reality on the ground. Hopefully, we all come to some convergence sometime soon.
Indeed. All right, well, listen, there's so much more to discuss on this one. We'll do it when we come back from these messages.
Great news is here. Batmat is here again. XXL clearance sale. Guaranteed savings. From now till the end of April, the big sale continues. Get discounts of up to 70% off sanitary wares, light tiles, waterproofing, and all other product families. It's the year to get things done. Visit our showroom at the North Industrial Area next to the Winners Chapel, Ghana. Don't miss out. Batmat, welcome home.
Hello, Ghana. I've got great news for you. After 26 years of academic excellence globally, Botho University is now in Ghana, offering degree programs in health information management, cybersecurity and risk management, software engineering, network security, and computer forensics. Admissions are ongoing for January 2024 with up to 50% scholarship for the first 150 students. We offer flexible payment terms, internship opportunities, and experiential exchange programs with our sister campuses. Pick up your admission form today at our East Legon campus near ANC Mall or call 0302-523-782 or WhatsApp 020-990-4714 for more information. Botho University, vibrance, innovation, impact.
Ooh, things are looking up on this side.
When you upgrade to the enhanced GCB mobile app, you start doing more with ease.
Create a GCB instant account easily and conveniently with your GCB mobile app and start sending and receiving funds. All you need is your Ghana card.
Pay your bills, subscriptions, and fees to multiple merchants safe and secure.
Charlie, tap the app, open a GCB instant account, and experience the recoded vibe.
You're able to top up on all types of ECG prepaid meters with their special card readers and keep the power on. No worries, no stress.
With GCB mobile app, you can also generate prepaid and virtual cards to use on ATM machines, POS devices, and for online transactions.
Well, I pay my subscriptions and fees with my GCB mobile app conveniently.
GCB mobile app. Download now from Google Play Store or Apple Store. Upgrade your style. GCB Bank. Your bank for life.
Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
My coordinator has seized my money, getting 2,200 cedis.
I received 300 cedis.
Scanning by
no money, no vote.
This has become the norm. It's so sad. Welcome back, by the way. It's the Super Morning Show on Joy. And today, in addition to all we're talking about regarding the state of the nation, we're also very concerned about illicit flow of money around our elections and politics. Okay, it's become serious organized crime, all fueled by the desire for power.
After the NDC primaries, I wrote an article. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Wilson and Co were rather attacking the fact that I wrote the article in an aeroplane instead of concentrating the most important issues that I actually talked about.
Yes,
I raised very pertinent issues about our politics, existential issues to do with how now it is almost impossible to actually do our politics without being a thief. Almost impossible. Yep. And I traced it nicely. You can have a young graduate, very brilliant guy who has the willingness to serve, like Zara Sultana. In the United Kingdom, when Zara left school at 22, she started community work. She was organizing in her community. And people realized that this is a woman who can serve. Kojo, that woman became member of parliament without spending 1% of her money. Without having to go to anybody for any resource to do so. She will print and go to house and go and share to the people. When they selected her as their candidate, the people were even shocked that she was actually selected. Along the line, she is still the candidate and still actually running the constituency. Go and see the things that she's doing. Fighting big corporation, making sure that people are properly represented, fighting for workers and all of that. You change the ties in our case. If Aaron left school just 3 years ago, and you believe that Aaron is very competent, can represent the people properly, Aaron would have to now go and beg some big people within the party or be selected by big people who have their own interest to now contest an election. If Aaron is lucky, those big people will not include a drug dealer. If he's lucky, he will not include a very corrupt person who has a big business, who distributes money for people to contest elections. Then they become they become Aaron's puppet master.
Yeah.
So you have members of parliament. Their conscience are not how they will play anything in parliament.
But you say
it's their puppet master's control.
You say if he's lucky. The fact is, a genuine businessman will not be interested in getting illicit control over a politician.
Yes.
So if he's lucky, Pazi, I mean, there's no luck involved. Any business person or any person who decides to fund a politician for quid pro quo, it's not a good person.
It's as if it's a business investment.
Doing it for it's not doing it for the interest of the nation.
An MP told me one thing. Member of Parliament, sitting member of Parliament, very powerful guy. He says, listen, let me not lie to you. If I do all the deductions, my salary is left with 10,000 cedi.
Yeah.
Kojo, in my constituency, people expect me to pay school fees. The most painful part is people who have gotten married, they want to marry 2 or 3 and want me to be the ones helping them do so. Member of Parliament. But still, if he doesn't do so, people will say that he's a wicked man. He doesn't take off his people. And he cannot deliver on the job.
Cupid and Father Christmas.
You know what? So this morning I asked a very simple question.
Second simple question.
No, this morning, that was the question I asked. I asked you whether you know who is behind your representative.
That's true.
Do you know how your representative got money before representing you? And do you know the person who funded his campaign? Do you know the source of funding of that person? And do you know what that person is engaged in? And how that affects your country? Listen to Elvis Ifriankra.
They are very genuine and legitimate modes of financing political parties. But the fact still remains that the manner and source of our funding creates room for corruption. And I have practical experience. We came into power. I was appointed as Minister of Youth and Sports. And I was confronted with JIDA. Now, JIDA was started by the previous government, NPP. It was NYEP. And the way it was started as a pilot program. So there were no proper institutions in place. The systems were not in place, and it was virtually a free-for-all. We came to power, we expanded it, and people took advantage of the weaknesses in the system. So by the time I took office, it was virtually a mess, and the president said, clean it up. So with characteristic zeal, I also started, clean up. Hey, that was when my problem started. It wasn't easy. And it was a very awkward, difficult situation because most of the service provided were people that I knew personally, and there were people that had supported us, and I know they support both sides. And so you have a situation where you have gone to take money from the person to run your campaign, and then you come back and say you are now investigating the person, canceling his contracts, and it was very, very, very difficult. So I started asking myself questions. I mean, what is it that we can do that, because the average businessman will rather put his 5 million or 10 million back into his business to expand. But we go to them and put pressure on them. We need money. We need money. And indeed, we do need money. And then afterwards, when we take the money from them, they are business people. They are not charities. So they have to recoup their money. And when they now do things and then we now turn back and say we are investigating them, then what are we doing? Are we deceiving ourselves? So for me, you've heard about Bost. An MP was very honest and frank. He said the Bost man cannot be sacked because he contributed heavily to the campaign. These are realities. We all know of the various case studies.
Sunshine and joy in the morning time. Wake up to the super morning show. Yeah, wake up to joy.
Is the biggest problem in our politics. We are pretending because the people who have to do something about it directly are beneficiaries. These are people who get power. They cannot cut off the people who are funding them. See, sometimes when you hear the contract is unreasonable, when you hear those terms, you know where it's coming from, and you know the names behind it. You know how it was possible that a person got it. When you hear all these things, how my company was set up today, then tomorrow it gets a very big contract. It's doing some very wonderful things. Immediately, you can draw the line. You say follow the money.
Back time.
You can follow the money to the source. So the chunk of our corruption is also traced to the same end. our leaders have become puppets for people who are controlling it behind. The people we are voting for end up not being the ones making the decisions on their own in our interest, because the financing part, before he got there, he owes so many people favors, and he cannot pretend that he will not pay these favors. They'll teach my lesson going into the future, or his party will suffer at the end of the day.
Have you heard the famous "in all your gettings, get money" before? Could have you heard that before? In all your gettings, get money. Do you know that there was an election in this country where a man perceived to be a galamsey sponsored somebody who almost unseated a certain member of parliament?
Yeah.
Do you know that? And look, do you also know that there are people who have had conversations and have said, the point today is that people believe that in all your gettings, get money. It doesn't matter where they get the money from. And once they get that money, they actually look for acceptability. So what they do is now begin to choose leaders for you.
Yeah.
So they go into communities, they go into areas and say, oh, you're a good guy. And then they tell you, come, join me. Look, I spoke to a member of parliament years ago. I don't have his permission to mention his name. Okay, no, this was, in a public interview, because I played it. He said that, look, we cannot stop galamsey. And the reason we cannot stop galamsey in our areas is that they control the local economy. They fund even some of us into getting into positions. And so because of that, we cannot stop them. It is the reason that you have people sometimes, when the galamseyers when the police, all these Operation Halt and all of that are going to mining areas, you have people informing them in advance. By the time you get there, you meet nobody.
So we've identified the problem. What's the solution? Just stop it. Stop going to them, asking for them to fund it.
So that my competitor will win the election.
How difficult
so that my
can that
competitor
be?
will win the election.
Stop it, because the country obviously cannot fund political parties.
You want to know how difficult that can be? Well, the difficulty is in the fact that if you don't go, someone else will. And it is the money that will win the election. You know, the real problem with Ghanaians is that we normalize the grotesque. Something that should traumatize us, we normalize it. So now you see delegates can come on air in front of a camera and declare that my money hasn't come, so I'm not voting. We've normalized it.
We've got to stop
and
it.
it is a grotesque thing that we've normalized. It's something that ought to have shocked our sensibilities. We ought to have seen that and said, hey, Razi, but no, it's normal. It's even logical now. It's a pity. It's a pity. This is not the country we set out to forge.
Yeah. It's the politicians, and they can stop it.
Well, no, they won't. They won't.
The
solution has to come from somewhere.
Kojo, have you ever seen anybody in this republic being prosecuted for campaign finance related offense before in this republic? Since I was born, I've never seen one.
Even administrative sanction from the party crowd won't come. Not prosecution.
Even being accountable. Even being accountable.
It won't come. Anyway, we've got business to do.
All right, and listen, we've got great news from Batimat. It's the extra large clearance sale, guaranteed savings. All the products you find in the showroom are up to 70% off from now till the end of April 2024. So we're talking about 20%, 25, 30, 40, 50, all the way up to 70% off on several products. Carry out your construction project this year with complete peace of mind. Don't miss this opportunity. It's the year to get things done. Batimat is home for some of the best brands in building solutions. They are the leading distributors of Legrand electrical products like distribution boards and enclosure switches and sockets, breakers, etc. They also have the best waterproofing solutions and chemicals for your building project. Other products include tiles, lights, office furniture, sanitary wares, bathroom accessories, and many more. Enjoy great discounts on all these items. It's price craziness at Batimat from now till April 30, 2024. So visit the showroom, which is at the North Industrial Area next to Winners Chapel, Ghana, close to ECG Aveno, or just call them ahead before you go. 054 431 4553. Don't miss out. Batimat, welcome home.
The poorly maintained car engine can age faster. That's why we offer specially formulated quartz engine oil with age-resistance technology. It's a breakthrough innovation that ensures optimal performance for your engine and improves protection against mechanical wear by up to 74%, even under extreme temperatures and pressure. Choosing quartz from Total Energies is choosing the engine oil that keeps your engine running efficiently and effectively. Quartz keep your engine younger for longer.
Now, insure your vehicle with Imperial General Assurance from now to the end of April and get yourself handsome rewards. Fuel coupons, special souvenirs, gift vouchers, and many more. And here's the catch. During this reward period, your motor insurance policy will give you an automatic 1-year life insurance cover. You could also get brand new car tires and other car accessories as well. It is really reloaded. Everybody qualifies. Just come insure your car and you are done. Call us today on 0577 667 436 or talk to your broker or any of our agents across the country for further details. You can also follow us on all our social media handles. Terms and conditions apply. Imperial General Assurance, solid protection.
All right, if you can't wait to visit your family or friends in London, well, good news, you don't have to. That's because British Airways flies there 10 times a week to 2 different airports. You can fly into London, Heathrow, or to Gatwick Airport. Treat yourself to British Airways' Club World and experience exceptional levels of comfort and service. Club World comes with a seat that reclines into a fully flat bed and offers you a premium dining experience. Or you could fly World Traveller Plus and enjoy a quieter, more spacious cabin. Fly British Airways and experience the best of British hospitality on your journey to London. Don't wait. Book now at BA.com.
And start the new year with easy and secure movement with SG Ghana. Get reliable motor insurance and receive free fuel for your car. Buy or renew your Sound Drive insurance with SG Ghana from now till the 31st of March and get free fuel of up to 500 Ghana cedis for your trips. It's time to hit the road with reliable insurance plus free fuel. So visit any SG Ghana branch today. Get the cover you need for your car plus free fuel to take you places. Sound Drive plan is underwritten by Allianz Insurance. Terms and conditions apply. Societe Generale Ghana. The future is you.
And Toyota users, get ready for a revolution. If you want your Toyota engine to function optimally, then there's only one choice, the Toyota Genuine Motor Oil. The Toyota Genuine Motor Oil has been rigorously tested and proven to be the best oil for your Toyota engine, specially crafted to keep your Toyota engine running smoothly and efficiently. The Toyota Genuine Motor Oil is available at all Toyota Ghana branches across the country. Nothing makes your engine happier than Toyota Genuine Motor Oil. For bulk purchase or distribution, contact Toyota Ghana on 0302 429801. Toyota, superior quality.
An enterprise insurance leader in general insurance, certainly since 1924, is celebrating the 100 years anniversary with you, with everybody, with the Yafinie Motor Insurance promotion. One lucky winner will drive off in a brand new Nissan Kicks SUV. First and second runner-ups will jet off to Dubai. All expense paid to also win and purchase or renew your vehicle insurance with Enterprise between January and June 2024. Monthly raffle draws offer you lovely laptops, TVs, microwaves, fridges, and more. Also win instant free fuel coupons and gifts. Visit any Enterprise Insurance branch or call your broker or agent. Call us directly on this number 0302 634 777. Experience the time-tested and truly trusted 100 years legacy of Ghana's oldest insurer. Terms and conditions apply. Enterprise Insurance, your advantage.
All right, don't forget to go to kingdomstoreonline.com and pick up all the very best office essentials, equipment, and furniture from Kingdom Books and Stationery. You can pay by Momo across all networks, and they'll deliver to your home or office in very good time. You also get free delivery if you're in Accra or Tema. Terms and conditions apply at Kingdom. Quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
And get the best returns on your investment. Invest with iVest. It's a secured fixed-term investment from Isway that offers so much more with a minimum of 5,000 Ghana cedis over a minimum period of 3 months. So increase your earnings by investing over a maximum period of 12 months. You know, times are hard. So invest right. Open an iVest account today and invest your way to massive wealth. iVest, real value for real people. Call Isway on 0596 914 843 or just text iVest, IVESD to 4993 to get started. Isway, your trusted financial solutions partner, and Isway is a member of the Ghana Deposit Protection Corporation.
And every time we eat, food and sugars are trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases, foul breath. So you need to brush your teeth with Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal Toothpaste. Pepsodent Charcoal is made of a fine blend of fluoride with a unique combination of natural charcoal, lemon, mint, and zinc to whiten your teeth, strengthen them, and remove bad odor from your mouth. Pepsodent Charcoal White gently polishes away tooth stains and naturally restores your bright smile. For our herbal lovers, try Pepsodent Herbal Toothpaste, which is infused with a unique blend of green tea and herbal extracts formulated to repair and protect your gums while giving an all-round cooling sensation. Pepsodent Herbal releases, repairs, and protects gum tissues while giving you strong teeth. Always remember to brush your teeth in the morning and before you sleep at night. Pepsodent has been educating Ghanaians on how to brush their teeth for 25 years and is recommended by the Ghana Dental Association and gives you the opportunity to talk to a dentist for free. Call toll-free 0800 161,000 to talk to a dentist free. You can get Pepsodent at any shop near you. Call our customer care center on toll-free 0800 2030. Pepsodent, every smile matters.
Every smile matters. All right, time now for birthdays and sports after these messages.
Imagine strutting into the most anticipated wedding of the year. Only to see 7 other girls wearing your exact same outfit.
You are special and one of a kind, and that's why whether it's voice, data, or SMS, you get to enjoy personalized offers tailored to your specific needs with MTN Just For You. Dial *141# or select your options on the My MTN app to redeem your unique Just For You package on Ghana's best mobile network. MTN.
Have you ever thought of the one that makes you complete? An escape from the clutches of interest charges. With the Standard Chartered Visa debit and credit cards, payments are completed at the speed of light, intertwined with interest earning accounts. You also get unbelievable rewards every time you swipe. You have access to over 1,200 airport lounges worldwide, high credit limits of up to 100,000 Ghana cedis, and up to 50 days interest-free with our credit cards. You also get to enjoy full multi-trip travel insurance for 90 days. Fees discounted at your feet with our globally partnered merchant points. Bills are always settled, not battled. Get the Standard Chartered debit and credit card now. Call toll-free on 0800 740 100 or 0302 740 100 or reach us via email on feedback.ghana@sc.com. Standard Chartered, here for good.
And where do you think you're going?
To train in the garden.
With my broom?
Mom, it's a javelin.
Oh, really? And that plate?
That's not a plate, it's a discus, Mom. We are training to become winners.
Well, you know you need lots of energy to become winners. So you both better start your day with Twisco before you go anywhere.
Besides its great chocolatey taste, Twisco is enriched with Enerfort, a blend of energy-boosting vitamins and minerals for little winners.
Thanks, Mom.
Got to keep my little winners in shape.
Twisco, power your dreams.
This advert is FDA approved.
All right, let's do it. Birthday messages on the Super Morning Show are brought to you by
MTN.
Everywhere you go. And Bank of Africa, the African bank with global reach. Bank of Africa, strong as a group,
as close as a partner.
You guys sound like a choir.
And it's a happy birthday to Mr. Kofi Ano-Edu, the CEO of Bethel Logistics and Freight Forwarding Company, and it's coming from your friend Ayuba Isaka of Standard Chartered branch of Perbia. And today is the birthday of Theodoric Segbefia of Rana Motors.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
One of my favorite people.
Yes, it's his birthday today. So happy birthday to you, Theodoric Segbefia. It's coming from your friends and family, particularly Kojo Damenya to you. And also
for Kojo Damanya.
Yes.
Hey, good morning. journey.
Yes.
It's been forever.
Yes. And a happy birthday.
So they
to-
say Kojo Damanya, I say Efo Kojo
Oh,
Damanya.
is that you? I'm saying hello
Maybe
to
they
my
have a
uncle.
special relationship.
I'm saying hello to my uncle. lah.
Is your uncle? Mama V.
I think so. I come from Anglogan.
This
So
one
make the
says,
connection.
you come from Anglogan or Tegbi? Which of the places?
Oh, la.
Is it Anglogan, Tegbi, Adina, or
You
which
they
one?
worry.
Ojita?
You they
I'm just asking
worry.
questions.
It's the entire stretch. It's the entire stretch. From Savietula to Keta.
Mama V can.
Jalukopa.
Mama V can expand the thing.
Yeah, everybody forces.
I tell ya. And it's a happy birthday to Dr. Cynthia Nayele Adokwe Tegu of Ise, and it's coming from Clarice to you. And Dr. Cynthia Adokwe Tegu, a very good friend of mine. Happy birthday to you.
Now, this says happy birthday to my nephew Nini, wishing him God's grace in life. This is from Shelby, and a big shout out also going out to Shirley's daughter Shelby. Yes.
Okay, all right. Lots of people listening to us right now. Let me say a very quick good morning to former Electoral Commissioner Charlotte Osei, who's listening, tuned in.
But hold on. David, one time somebody told me that why do we say for electoral commissioner and not chairperson?
It's the chairperson of the electoral
and that
commission.
In those days, Rollins was the only chairman, so people were afraid to call others chairman. And we the young ones too.
Right, she was part of the commission, and the commissioners were commissioners.
David Kanga was like, you too young man, you're afraid to call me former deputy chairperson. In those days, Rollins was the only chairman. So in 92, we're all doing commissioner because you're afraid to say chairman.
You don't want to compete.
But nowadays you can say chairman.
Yes. She was the chair. She was the chair of the EC. Yes. She saw it. She liked it. She picked it. It made her happy. Oh, goodness. I miss those days. Anyway, happy birthday to Madam Victoria Adongo, a.k.a. Hajia Sada, former executive director, Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana. It's from all your children and indeed your grandchildren. That one was sent in by Leila Pencil. We've already... no, we haven't done this one. Happy birthday to Ruth Botio, technical advisor at the Ministry of Finance. Is from all of your friends and family on this very special day. All right, I guess that does it, right?
Yes.
Okay, the Joy Sports Center is brought to you by MTN. Everywhere you go, Standard Chartered Bank.
Here for good.
And Twisco Energy Food Drink from Promasidor Company Limited. Twisco.
Power your dream. Listen, welcome to your future. That's a future design exclusively to propel women-led businesses to the next level. So, are you a female entrepreneur developing technology or leveraging technology? Well, then the Standard Chartered Women in Tech Incubator Program is offering specialized mentoring, mini MBA business courses, curated networks, tailored masterclasses, and seed funding to help you unlock unimaginable business growth. To take advantage, well, the program is implemented by Ashesi University's Ghana Climate Innovation Center. You can apply to the Standard Chartered Women in Tech program by visiting scwomenintechgh.com or the Standard Chartered Bank Ghana social media pages for more information. Remember, application deadline, though, is the 29th of February 2024, which is just tomorrow.
That's right. And hello, Ghana. There's an exciting new chocolate beverage out there on the market. Mama V, why are you so excited?
Oh, because it's one of our favorites.
It's from the producers of Cowbell. Permit me to introduce you to Twisco, a chocolate food drink enriched with Etherford, a combination of energy-boosting minerals and vitamins, including B vitamins, vitamin C, D, iron, and many more. Twisco is available in 20G and can be found at your nearest neighborhood store in a delightful red sachet for only 1 cedi, 80 pesos. So enjoy all the goodness packed in a sachet. Empty contents into a mug. Mix with 180 ml of previously boiled water, add milk, and then just stir. Start your day with a cup of the great tasting Twisco chocolate drink. This advert is FDA approved.
I'm happy you're able to say Twisco.
And Mama V, your uncle Kojo Damanya extends his regards to you.
See?
He says, my regards to Mama V.
Yeah.
But having said that also, I need to do the birthday to Ruth Botio again. If I also don't do some, I'll have an issue. But this one, I'm adding all of us here at the Multimedia Group.
Okay.
She's a friend to the station as well. So Ruth Botio, technical advisor at the Ministry
Including
of
Sir
Finance.
Alex Ferguson Jr.
Sir Alex Ferguson Jr. is who?
She's a big woman.
Who's Alex Ferguson Jr.? Samuel Adame. Is that a new name you have given him?
Yes. Wait, Ruth is where?
Technical advisor, Ministry of Finance.
Okay, all right.
Boots.
Happy birthday to you, Ruth.
Let's give her a K.
It's a cake.
Yeah.
Let us know if there's a party.
Now that we've done that, this one from Agbenya Foster to his wife, Cooper Jacinta, says, never forget that I love you. Sometimes it's hard to find words to tell you how much you mean to me. I did anything right. If I did anything right in my life, it was when I gave my heart to you.
Aww.
You're my best friend, my soulmate, and my everything.
Aww.
Happy 40th birthday.
That's cute.
Enjoy your day, my darling. Agbenya Foster to his wife, Cooper Jacinta.
You're romantic.
He's romantic, eh?
Yeah.
I'm happy that. Well, you know, we all have those days when you're low on everything, energy, time, cash, and even airtime and data. Well, that's why MTN Extra Time is an airtime and data advanced service that allows you to make calls or browse the internet even when you have insufficient balance. All you have to do is dial *506#, go through the prompts and select the amount of airtime or data that you need. It's more than simple. Doing your favorite things on MTN means you don't get interrupted even when you're low on airtime or data. Please remember all terms and conditions apply.
That's right. Thank you very much. Good morning to all of you. Welcome aboard to the Joy Sports Centre with me, Tahiru Fentu. Coming up this morning.
Fatawu looking for Iheanacho, who will get there. Angles tight. Iheanacho. Fatawu. Oh! What a way to take the lead. Abdul Fatawu with a wonder goal. We've had to wait a while, but that was worth the wait.
Well, you don't mind waiting a while if you're going to see a goal of real quality like this.
That's right. An absolute stunner for Ghanaian Fatau Isaaku sends Leicester City into the FA Cup quarter-finals. Also in this bulletin, the Black Queens face Zambia in a must-win third-round 2024 Olympic qualifying game a little later today. But first, we're going to Parliament, where the President, Nana Akufo-Addo, yesterday delivered the State of the Nation address. He's revealed that he will unveil a presidential football policy to revive the sport that has declined to an all-time low in the country. The President said this was necessitated by the embarrassment that played out at the 2023 AFCON, where Ghana crashed out at the group stages.
The recent AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire was probably the nadir of the performance of Black Stars and has left the nation saddened. However, I am quite certain that the young men and the technical handlers would themselves have wanted to make our nation proud. And I believe that the captain, Andre Dede Ayew, meant every word when he rendered heartfelt apologies on behalf of his teammates to all Ghanaians for the team's early exit. Speaker, I believe it is time for us to take a long-term, far-sighted approach to correct what has gone wrong. It's time to return to scouting, grooming, and developing talent at the grassroots level under a presidential policy on football that I intend to unveil very soon. The School Sports Department of the Ministry of Education will work hand in hand with the Ministry of Youth and Sports in collaboration and synergy with the Ghana Football Association to build district, regional, and national juvenile teams for both girls and boys.
That's President Nana Akufo-Addo. He also backed the Black Queens to do well in tonight's game against Zambia.
The senior women's team, the Black Queens, who do not get half the attention the Black Stars get, have been performing quite creditably. They've gone for 10 months. She's without any loss until last December, and then when they lost narrowly to Namibia in the qualifying ground for the 2024 Women's African Cup of Nations. Even though they lost narrowly to Zambia in the first leg of the qualifiers for the 2024 Olympic Games, let us wish them well in the second leg to be played in Lusaka tomorrow. I hope they give us something to cheer about.
Nana Akufo-Addo, that game is not in Lusaka, it's in Ndola. And that will happen a little later today. Ghana trail 1-0 from the first leg. Nora Hoptel is their head coach. She says they are aware they must score if they are to progress.
And, I heard that tomorrow it's going to be a packed stadium, so we like it. We like this crowd, and I hope it will be a big football game tomorrow evening for all of us. So we also have some plans for tomorrow, you will see. But of course, it's our approach to be stable in the game, and we need to score. We are aware of that, and you will see tomorrow on the pitch what our plans are.
Kickoff for that game is at 4 p.m. at the Levy in Wanawasa Stadium in Ndola. Meanwhile, South Africa dispatched Tanzania 4-0 on aggregate to set up a clash with Nigeria in the final round of qualifying for the one of two tickets to the Olympic Games for African women's football. Let's do some local football now. And last night, Ghanaian Giants Hearts of Oak announced that they were dissolving the club's board with immediate effect. The Phobians said a new one will be constituted at this annual general meeting in early March. Meanwhile, the local organizing committee for the 2023 African Games has described the allegations made by North Tongue MP Okudzeto Ablakwa about its intention to spend 602 million Ghana cedis on just operations as disingenuous. The LOC released a statement yesterday saying Ablakwa misrepresented the facts.
Firstly, what the Honorable MP put out is a misrepresentation of the facts. The local organizing committee was inaugurated by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo almost 4 years ago, and the operational budget of the local organizing committee cannot be limited to the 18-day period of the Games. The impression created by Honorable Ablakwa that the sum of $48 million will be spent within the period spanning 8th to 23rd March is an erroneous and disingenuous plot to divert the attention of Ghanaians from the excellent work done by the government of Ghana and the local organizing committee to organize and host the 13th African Games. Secondly, the $48 million quoted in the letter leaked by Honorable Ablakwa as the operational budget for the hosting and organization of the Games goes into recurrent expenditure, and the local organizing committee will be in a better position to give a breakdown when the Games are over.
Those are excerpts of the LOC statement read to you by Joy Sports' Adamo Benning Abdul Karim. Now, Ghana's Black Stars, they have been excluded from the list of African teams chosen by FIFA for the inaugural FIFA Series International Friendlies. On Monday, FIFA announced its decision to trial the FIFA Series, a set of FIFA-backed international friendlies in the next international window in March. There's more in this Joy Sports Desk report.
In a statement on Monday, FIFA said 4 national teams selected from each confederation will converge in one country for the inaugural FIFA series next month. Although FIFA allocated 6 slots to African countries for the inaugural edition, Ghana's Black Stars were somehow overlooked for the tournament. Algeria, South Africa, Tanzania, Equatorial Guinea and Central African Republic are the African countries selected for the inaugural edition. Ghana were not the only big name absentee for the inaugural event, as Africa's number 1 ranked team, Senegal, AFCON 2023 winners Côte d'Ivoire and finalists Nigeria were all conspicuously missing. FIFA says the initiative will provide member associations with a more regular opportunity to face national teams from other continents, which will serve to unlock technical development opportunities previously unavailable to many of them. The FIFA series will also provide the participating member associations with their own additional commercial opportunities and exposure. The pilot series will run from 18 to 26 March 2024.
That was a Just Sports Desk report. Now, players of the national amputee football team yesterday held a press conference to appeal to government to pay bonuses owed them for winning the football gold medal at last year's African Para Games. In September last year, Ghana beat Morocco 2-1 to secure the country's first ever gold medal in the event. For their efforts, the government promised a reward of $2,000 per player. But 5 months on, that pledge has not been redeemed. Former Ghana under-17 goalkeeper Ali Jarrah is technical director for the national amputee football team.
We've been struggling since memorial. Each and every time, amputee betu kwino. This year, the Yasema media, no more a campaign for chop and sana. Like Secretary Kaya, 2021, it took amputee players to pay for their airfare, including the coach, to sacrifice for Mother Ghana. You win a trophy, no? You diba Ghana, no? Currently, the trophy is with Minister. I think it's unfair.
That's Ali Jarrah there. In 2021, here's a reminder, the team won their first ever African amputee football Cup of Nations trophy in Tanzania before making headlines for their inability to buy return tickets to Ghana. They had purchased one-way tickets to the competition on their own after government told them there was no money to fund their participation. And after winning the trophy, government then intervened to fly them home, where they presented the trophy to the Minister for Youth and Sports. Now, Mohamed Kudus' goals have dried up since returning to West Ham from AFCON. The Ghanaian international had scored 6 goals in the lead-up to the competition, but has none since January. He provided an assist on Monday in West Ham's 4-2 win over Brentford, but the former Man United captain Gary Neville says the Ghanaian must learn to be selfless in his play.
Paquetá brings a lot of arrogance. Kudus has got something. He just needs to be a little bit more... what's the word? Yeah, his final choice. He just needs that maturity in his game. That sometimes wingers, they have it whereby they're unpredictable, but unpredictable to everybody. Unpredictable not just to the opposition, but unpredictable to their own players that don't know when they're going to make a run. In the first half, he had 3 or 4 wild shots that were from positions where he could have played a final pass. And I did say in that first half, the one thing that David Moyes could say at half-time was for him to be a little bit more precise in what he was doing. And that third goal, I think, came from him really being direct and putting that lovely little cross in for Gerard Bowen, which was a big moment in this game.
That's Gary Neville on Mohamed Kudus. Kudus' international teammate is Abdul Fattah Issahaku. He scored a superb extra time winner to earn Leicester City a 1-0 win over Bournemouth and send them into the FA Cup quarter-finals. Here's his coach, Enzo Maresca, and then after that, Fattah himself.
Yeah, I said he probably shoot 25 times during his time at Leicester, and finally he could score tonight. But I remember many of the shots on the stand from him. So if we have to wait another 25 shoot, it's a little bit long.
I'm feeling so good about my goal, and because it's my first goal in the FA Cup as well, and I've been waiting for this kind of goals, and yeah, so lucky that I got it today. I'm so happy and feeling great. I knew I was hitting the target, but I've been trying, and unfortunately today he went in. And yeah, I'm so happy.
That's Abdul Fattah Issahaku there. Before him, you heard his coach, Enzo Maresca, full of praise for him. In other matches, Erling Haaland, he scored 5 in a stunning display of finishing as FA Cup holders. Man City thrashed Luton Town 5-2 to reach the quarter-finals. Newcastle then beat Blackburn 4-3 on penalties to book their own last 8. Later tonight, Chelsea take on Leeds at Stamford Bridge, while Man United play away at Forest. Wolves host Brighton, and Liverpool take on Southampton at Anfield. Now, before we go, Mamavi, here's an interesting story for you. Ghana Athletics will today hold a one-day Open Championship at the Legon Sports Stadium. The competition, which will draw athletes from all across the country, will be a platform for the GA to select athletes to represent Ghana at next month's Africa Cup of Nations. The event will also be used to officially test facilities at the stadium ahead of the games, which start in 11 days' time. That's all the sports this morning on the Joy Sports Center. My name is Fentu Tahiru Fentu.
All right, thanks a lot, Fentu.
Before you call me Salamatu.
There's a lot of sports on myjoyonline.com. Please visit our website and explore social media messages, though, here on the show, brought to us by EcoBank, a better way, a better Africa, and Provident Insurance. With Provident, man, you are covered.
Across Africa, a new era has begun. Shifting our focus to a new horizon, connecting us with one purpose: to create and share opportunities to grow. Today, we are making a brighter tomorrow, built by our dreams and our energy. Across our continent, across the world, we are creating a better way to a better future. A Pan-African future. Together. EcoBank. A better way, a better Africa.
Hello? Fair driver, are you sending the sales?
Boss, Medicana Kopim.
Hey, what the car to me so?
Boss, you no renew the insurance.
Tell it, I didn't have time. I had to go to the farm.
You can insure on the farm.
And I had had to go to the market too.
You could have insured in the market.
I had to cook supper for my wife. Abba.
Boss, you could have insured in the market.
But how?
By texting Obaya on 0242 426 396 to help insure with Provident Insurance on WhatsApp from anywhere. Annie, Bebia. With Obaya, now you can insure your car anywhere, anytime. On WhatsApp, text Obaya on 0242 426 396 today. With Provident.
Man, you are covered.
Wake up. Good morning. Good morning.
It's the Super Morning Show, just coming up to 8. At exactly 8, we'll cross over and bring you the Business Minutes. Thanks to Consolidated Bank Ghana, CBG, we stand with you. Anointed Electricals, the generator experts, and our friends, Wyca Recapital, together towards tomorrow. It's actually 8 a.m. now, so let's bring you the Joy Business Minutes.
Hello, welcome to the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, Anointed Electricals, the generator experts, Wyca Recapital, together towards tomorrow. Rating agency Fitch expects Ghana to conclude its external debt restructuring by end of the first half of this year. Economist Dr. Patrick Esuming is calling for more transparency as the government moves to complete some 13 priority delayed projects this year. According to him, the government will be left with no option than to rely on the savings accrued from the domestic debt exchange program to complete the delayed projects. The total value of mobile money accounts held with commercial banks reached over 18 billion cedis at the end of last year. And also, China's biggest private property developer, Country Garden, is facing a winding up petition which has been filed in Hong Kong by a creditor. And that's the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, Anointed Electricals, the generator experts, Wyca Recapital, together towards tomorrow.
Super Morning Show.
Keep the frequency clear.
99.7.
Wake up. Good morning. Good morning.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town. Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Good morning to all our friends at Consolidated Bank Ghana, CBG. We stand with you. Also, Anointed Electricals, the generator experts, and we welcome Wyca Recapital together to us tomorrow. They bring us the Business Minute here on our show. And Wyca Recapital is a multinational fund management company regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Wyca Recapital, with experience in fund management and investment banking, has over the years helped its customers to thrive by enabling them to achieve their lifetime financial goals. Wyca Recapital invests funds in ways that create a positive future for its customers, their families, and businesses, and offers corporate finance and advisory. In these ways, Wyca Recapital helps its customers to create the best life. Good thing is, you too can also create your best life. Just speak to Wyca Recapital today on these numbers: 0501577 546 or 0501577 547. Find Wyca Recapital. They've got an office on the 4th floor, Golf House, opposite the Ghana Standards Authority. Or just visit their website, wycarecapital.com, where you can explore and get more information. Wyca Recapital, together towards tomorrow.
And Anointed Engineering Services Limited is into the sales of ultra-silent generators from 5 kVA to 2,500 kVA, and they undertake the maintenance and repairs of all kinds of diesel generators. They also stock genuine spare parts of all kinds for various generators and do generator rental. Now, they have branches nationwide. You can locate their latest branches in Amrahia, at Frims Oil on the main Adenta Dodowa Road, East Legon, Lagos Avenue, opposite Tomric Hotel, Tema General Hospital Road, Community 9, just after the overhead, and Kaswa off the Wager Kaswa Road near Simaf Cement Depot, and at Odoko, where they have their head office, number 77 Anointed House off the Odoko Malam Road, Accra. Call them on 0243 480 334.
And thanks to EcoBank, a better way, a better Africa, and Provident Insurance. With Provident, man, you're covered. You're able to send us messages on WhatsApp 055-1111-997. And you can also post on XJoy997 using the hashtag JoySMS, as well as Facebook. Social media messages thanks to EcoBank and Provident Insurance.
Now, every day people face different emergencies. There's the police emergency, fire emergency, medical emergencies, you name it. But many Ghanaians don't know their emergency numbers. Well, here's one you want to remember and keep in your heart. Star 770 hash. Yes, star 770 hash is the new EcoBank money emergency number. Star 770 hash gives you instant access to loans, fund transfers, utility payments, airtime and data purchases, and so much more, even without data. So there's no need to panic when you find yourself in any money emergency. EcoBank will always come to your rescue. Dial star 770 hash now for solutions to your money emergencies. EcoBank is the Pan-African bank.
Now, you can get your vehicle insured anywhere, anytime with Provident Insurances or Baya on WhatsApp. She works around the clock, so you don't have to worry about closing times. I mean, babia. Buy, renew, and file claims for your vehicle. Babia. All you have to do is chat Obaya on 0242 426 396 and let her help you. It's quick, convenient, reliable, and saves you time, so you can do more in your day. Chat Obaya and get your vehicle insured now on Provident Insurance. So text your Obaya, babia. With Provident, man, you're covered.
We've got a number of questions. Are you aware of the amount of money spent during campaigns and the sources of those funds? Is the candidate transparent enough to disclose such information to you? That candidate that you support, that candidate who is representing you in Parliament, does he or she possess intellectual acumen, or was their selection based on their ability to organize? And I know Raymond will say Jama sessions and concerts. All right, so it's a really, really important conversation that we have today. Our current regulations, as we know, lack comprehensive disclosure laws, leaving us uncertain whether the money used to bribe delegates comes from drug dealers or individuals masquerading as businessmen. Are there no limits on campaign spending? Obviously, no. Reducing the primary exercise to a contest of financial prowess. That's where we are, guys.
Yes, I have never heard, seen anybody that's contesting a primary election or any major election in the Republic of Ghana tell us that after the election, these are the sources of funds I went into the election with. There were 26 people, 14 gave me donations, some were cash, kind, some also actually joined me. I didn't pay them a peswa. 15 others brought money from this end, and this particular one, my church members, they all put money together and funded my campaign. I have never seen anybody give us a single breakdown like that. That is what, to me, is the transparency that we expect. Even though state institutions could be querying that, I expect the candidates themselves to be truthful to the people that they are serving, to come out and say, this is my report on what I did with the money you gave me. 20 million came from Mamavi. 10 million, I know Mamavi will not give you 20 million. Yeah. But 10 million also came from Winston. I got two other people give me 2 and 7 million every single day that I went to their house and went to speak to them about my vision and everything. This is what I'm publishing it so that Mbura can independently verify with Mama V whether or not these amounts of money I'm quoting here reflect the reality on the ground. We see people, and the estimation is that sometimes people spend up to $300,000. Now, even if you go on a post, you have to spend money. I've never heard of this concept before. The acclamation process requires you paying people to come and sit there and say, yeah. You didn't contest
give
anybody.
Them transportation as well.
Yes, but we do not get the disclosures that are required here. We do not get people, and I am waiting for the first time.
Yeah.
That I will see a candidate say, I didn't win the election, but I participated in the election. This is the list. This is my financial account or financial report on what I did with your money. My money came from this guy, that guy, and these other people. Finally, when they brought me the money, this is how I spent the money. And this is the result. Even though I lost, this is the amount of money left. I have never all we hear is people saying they are donating in kindness in different forms. People go to candidates. Sometimes people even go and edit the money. Have you heard that expression before? Like you edit news bulletin. The gentleman went to take 2 million to go and give to the candidate. Yes, I'm giving 1 million to the candidate because of the secrecy that we shroud these things with. Candidate cannot complain. He cannot report to the police. The guy who went for the money too cannot report the matter. So it is between they and the gentleman who paid the amount of money. Businesses, some of them, knowing fully well that they'll be pursuing illegitimate ends, that they'll be coercing some of these members of parliament to pursue their agenda, will necessarily select and go and say, I'm giving you a loan. Have a loan there, you have to pay back, right? The guy is unable to pay the $100,000 you gave him. So he owes you perpetually. I mean, which kind of people? But you think that you have voted for the guy. You think that your vote is what determined that the guy is going to parliament. And you go to represent your interest. So you're unsure why the guy is voting against something that you like. Because the bigger guy who put him there, you were just the conduit. The guy who really paid for his stay there is the one that is in control. Those puppet masters are the ones running the country indirectly. Because they make decisions. Sometimes you hear politicians, my hands are tied. Whenever my hands are tied comes in, somebody with extraordinary power is the one inducing affairs or determining your future. Imagine this is, even if it's a pastor, we may even say it's acceptable. But imagine it happens to be a drug dealer. Imagine it's a galamsey person. You then ask yourself, as Winston said, that's why we can never get to the bottom of the matter. Because the guy is told that who told you that? How did you get into office? We pay for it. If we don't remove that element, where some people hijack our politics with their money, what will be the point?
Look, you know John Edwards, Raymond. You know him, John Edwards. He lost to John Kerry in the 2004, Democrats primaries. And he became running mate to John Kerry. They were unsuccessful. In 2008, he tried again. But this time around, he lost to Barack Obama. Now, he was actually tried for non-disclosures and misappropriation of campaign funding. Campaign funding.
Have you heard before? Here in the Republic of Ghana.
He was a senator. He actually became running mate to John Kerry. But he was tried in the US. Okay? Because they didn't understand. And this is the point. Every fund you receive, you must account for it. How come that today we live in a country where we don't know those who sponsor our politicians? First of all, look at it critically. So somebody admits, and very soon you'll play the Apia Kubi sound, where he talks about if this is how it's going to be, you can't spend so much to come to parliament. How much did he spend? Does he have that much money? Who supported him? The person who supported him, where did he get the money from? We must begin to ask questions. So all of a sudden, you see a young man who finishes university, he can't go to parliament. He can't go and service people. But if he has to service people, it means somebody must sponsor him. But who's that person who's sponsoring him?
The word they use is godfather.
Godfather.
Yeah.
Who's that person who's his godfather?
And sometimes
what is the
it's not even
source?
direct, Somebody must introduce you to.
Yeah.
So there's actually like a chain.
Yeah.
You owe a number of people.
What is the source of the godfather's wealth? Do we know? Is he engaged in any serious or organized crime? That today, if we vote this person into office, he would go and do the godfather's bidding wherever he finds himself.
Even there are people who call you, say, oh, we have heard you. We think that you make a very fine candidate. I know we have friends in very wonderful places who can help you with this particular journey. Don't worry, you don't have to spend anything. We'll make sure that you are properly on the right toe. Of course, people like you are the ones we should get in parliament. Then you pierce and get to know the person they are talking about. Say, hey, this one.
No, you see,
it is servitude, not service.
No, you see, because this is the problem. And so consistently, have you realized one thing, Mama V and Raymond? That even though politicians consistently complain about the price of projects, they never get reduced. Should we do the analysis? How much does it cost to build a 6-unit classroom block today? Check it. 10 years ago.
Those used to use the MTN versus government comparison.
Yes. Have you realized that consistently prices keep going up? All we do is because, look, like Elvis Efriyankra said, sadly, people know those who are in charge. people know those who sponsor and tend to look for, their money back. And they deny people the opportunity to actually develop this country. But we pretend nothing is happening. How long can we continue to do the wrong things and expect a change? We have had enough. Things must change, and must not change tomorrow. They must change now.
There's another aspect of this. When you go to myjoyonline.com today, you find the story about the Member of Parliament for Zebula Kleto-Zavoka, who says the perceived corruption within MPs is due to the relentless financial demands placed on lawmakers, particularly by constituents and the public. And he actually says that you have to be corrupt to maintain your seat in Parliament. But I want us to take a listen to these audios.
Okay. You see nothing wrong with some of these aspirants giving out money to delegates to vote in their favor?
Oh, my brother. You as a journalist, we have to be in reality. Once I'm going, you look for Laura first. Is it not normal in Ghana?
My issue now is since the candidate started the tour, my coordinator has seized my money, getting to 1,200 cedis.
I received 300 cedis.
That's a lot of money.
You need more.
Yeah, I need more money. Show me more money.
What can I show to you?
And you got all this just today?
Yeah, just today. Just a few hours. Because I'm sacrificing my sleep.
Yeah. A bag full of cash. Wow.
Chance of this can be banned and he said, the entire
we will go and cast our votes if they bring us the money dishonest.
Can you say, was said you in Tiasum Prim? It is a scanner bad year, who be a cockatana free.
Scanning by
no money, no vote.
They are very genuine and legitimate modes of financing political parties. But the fact still remains that the manner and source of our funding creates room for corruption. And I have practical experience. We came into power. I was appointed as Minister of Youth and Sports, and I was confronted with JIDA. Now, JIDA was started by the previous government, NPP. It was NYEP. And the way it was started as a pilot program. So there were no proper institutions in place. The systems were not in place, and it was virtually a free-for-all. We came to power, we expanded it, and people took advantage of the weaknesses in the system. So by the time I took office, it was virtually a mess. And the president said, clean it up. So with characteristic zeal, I also started, clean up. Hey, that was when my problem started. It wasn't easy. And it was a very awkward, difficult situation because most of the service provided were people that I knew personally. And there were people that had supported us. And I know they support both sides. And so you have a situation where you have gone to take money from the person to run your campaign. And then you come back and say you are now investigating the person, canceling his contracts. And it was very, very, very difficult. So I started asking myself questions. What is it that we can do that, because the average businessman will rather put his 5 million or 10 million back into his business to expand. But we go to them and put pressure on them. We need money. And indeed, we do need money. And then afterwards, when we take the money from them, they are business people. They are not charities. So they have to recoup their money. And when they now do things and then we now turn back and say we are investigating them, then what are we doing? Are we deceiving ourselves? So for me, you've heard about Bost. An MP was very honest and frank. He said the Bost man cannot be sacked because he contributed heavily to the campaign. These are realities. We all know of the various case studies.
All right, so these are the realities, guys. Just about 30 seconds. Elvis Efriyankra makes a really, really important point. This is the reality, but I say that the same politicians who led us here can take us out of here. We simply can stop it, right?
They won't do it. I actually think that it should be the people deciding that we are not going to elect people we are convinced are not independent. We are not going to elect people we are convinced are sponsored. We are not going to elect people. It requires you, Mahavi and co, listing the people who are actually being sponsored by people so that people will know, so that they'll avoid them in the election. It is only when it doesn't pay that people will stop.
And I agree with Raymond. I mean, we have a role to play. All of us have a role to play. First of all, we must ask relevant questions. And most importantly, we must desist from taking these monies from politicians. And demanding demand what they have to offer, not the money.
Well, that's our big story coming up. We want you to be involved in this conversation, so kindly send us your WhatsApp messages. Send it to 055-111-1997. Also post on XJoy997 and add the hashtag Joy SMS. Messages also welcome on our Facebook page. Big stories brought to us by Latest Film. Latest Film is your partner for life.
Now, dreaming of the perfect sofa to upgrade this year? Your dream is now a reality at Latest Film. Introducing our sensational V sofa range, where comfort meets style at prices that will make your heart skip a beat. Hop into any Latest Film showroom nationwide to dive into the world of colors and choices, from the sleek Moavi L-shaped V sofa at just 3,100 cedis to the complete V sofa set for an unbeatable complete sofa set. Complete whole set, 6,500 cedi. You have the opportunity to elevate your living space with Latest Film, your forever partner in comfort and luxury. Hurry, your perfect sofa awaits. Latest Film is your partner for life.
And you know, every time we eat, food and sugars are trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases foul breath. While brushing your teeth every morning and night with Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal toothpaste is the way to go. Pepsodent Charcoal is made of a fine blend of fluoride with a unique combination of natural charcoal, lemon, mint, and zinc to whiten your teeth, strengthen them, and remove bad odor from your mouth. Pepsodent Charcoal White gently polishes away tooth stains and naturally restores your bright smile. For our herbal lovers, try Pepsodent Herbal toothpaste, which is infused with a unique blend of green tea and herbal extracts formulated to repair and protect your gums while giving an all-round cooling sensation. Pepsodent Herbal releases, repairs, and protects gum tissue while giving you strong teeth. Always remember to brush your teeth in the morning and before you sleep at night. Pepsodent has been educating Ghanaians on how to brush their teeth for 25 years. Pepsodent is recommended by the Ghana Dental Association, and Pepsodent gives you the opportunity to talk to a dentist for free. Call toll-free 0800-161-000 to talk to a dentist free. You can get Pepsodent at any shop near you. Call our customer care center on toll-free 0800-2030. Pepsodent, every smile matters.
And get more value for your money with a Hollad in Tosua Motor promotion. You get into Tosua when you sign up to Hollad's motor insurance between now and April. Enjoy free fuel vouchers, free roadside assistance when your car breaks down, and amazing gifts as well. With Hollad's quick motor insurance claims process, you've got the best insurance ever. Yato Subruta. And to contact your insurance broker or the nearest Hollad office, you can also call the toll-free number 0800-444-999 to sign up. Join the Pepple family. Hollad Insurance, we insure you and everything you love.
My issue now is, since the candidates started their tour, my coordinator has seized my money, getting to 1,200 cedis.
I received 300 cedis.
That's a lot of money. Oh.
You need more.
Yeah, I need more money. Show me more money.
What can I show out to you?
And you got all this just today?
Just today. Just a few hours. Because I sacrificed my sleep.
Yeah. A bag full of cash. Wow.
We will go and cast our votes if they bring us the money they promised. Scanning by
no money, no vote.
Okay. So you see nothing wrong with some of these aspirants giving out money to delegates to vote in their favor?
Oh, my brother. You as a journalist, we have to be a reality. Once I'm going, you look for Laura first. Is it not normal in Ghana?
Wake up. Good morning. Good morning.
Keep this frequency clear.
99.7.
Mothers of Africa.
Mommy, my day in your one day.
And what's the Wofa Geisha Semina Subain? Gina Hopinti Nako Wenim. Mempaba. Kosi se wonsa beka weni da so ade nyina.
Matmame, mejina painting akomenim. Na machapa to say geshi semina.
Be strong and laugh.
Sankratwe FD Ajiatu.
Breaking news. Vodafone Ghana is becoming Telecel. Stay tuned.
Hey, Cashman.
Yeah.
Don't you know Nana has assembled all of us and you are here making calls?
My generator is spoiled too. So I'm calling a renowned Ghanaian company with an excellent track record in the sales and repairs of generator sets in Accra to come and repair for me.
Oh, is it Anointed Electricals?
Yeah.
Anointed Electricals deals in quality and genuine generators with high fuel efficiency. We also rent generators.
They sell quality generators from 10 kVA to 2500 kVA. They have spare parts of other generators and can repair every faulty generator set even if you didn't buy from them.
Look, now we don't have any electrical problem in Accra.
Oh, how?
Because Anointed Electricals is right here at East Legon, Lagos Avenue, opposite Tomric Hotel.
And that's why Nana is calling us.
Okay.
Yes.
If you want to buy a brand new generator or repair the old one, visit Anointed Electricals. Or if you are within Accra, call our hotline 0246 423 534
or call 0243 480 334. They have qualified and dedicated men on 24-hour after sales service.
Then let's go and listen to Nana. Let's go.
Hey, gosh, after giving you the hint, won't you give me anything?
Anointed, the generator experts.
A bank that supports you, a bank that cares for you. Hand in hand, we stand with you. So lift your head up, big dreams are waiting. We'll walk with you wherever you go. Where all your dreams come alive, CBG will make you smile. We will rise with you. Your business will flourish, your name will stand out. Consolidated Bank, CBG, we stand with you.
Waikari Capital. We are a multinational fund management company regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Our aim is to help our customers thrive by enabling them to achieve their lifetime financial goals while investing their funds in ways that create a positive future for them, their families, and their businesses. In this way, we help them to create the best life. Speak to us today. Call us on 050-157-7546 or 050-157-7547. Visit www.waikaricapital.com. Waikari Capital. Together towards tomorrow.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town. It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town. It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
And this morning, our focus is on election financing, campaign financing. But of course, our focus is also on serious and organized crime and how persons who could be funding political parties or funding campaigns could be persons engaged in these serious and organized crimes. But most importantly, we've asked the question, how do we deal with it? Must it come from the politicians? Must it come from the state agencies? Or maybe it must come from you and me, as in us. What roles must all of us play in ensuring that we are able to deal with this menace once and for all? And talking about it, just listen. This is the chairman of the NPP in the Ashanti region. Many of you would want to call him Chairman Wuntumi, Bernard Ntribue-Siako, admitting and actually defending these expenditure.
Chairman, you see nothing wrong with some of these aspirants giving out money to delegates to vote in their favor?
Oh, my brother. You as a journalist, we have to be a reality. Once I'm going, you look for Laura first. Is it not normal in Ghana?
Well, he's asked the question, is it not normal in Ghana? Once you're going, you look for Laura Fair. But years ago, Elvis Efri-Yankra made this comment that many of you can relate to.
They are very genuine and legitimate modes of financing political parties. But the fact still remains that the manner and source of our funding creates room for corruption. And I have practical experience. We came into power. I was appointed as Minister of Youth and Sports. And I was confronted with JIDA. Now, JIDA was started by the previous government, NPP. It was NYEP. And the way it was started as a pilot program. So there were no proper institutions in place. The systems were not in place, and it was virtually a free-for-all. We came to power, we expanded it. And people took advantage of the weaknesses in the system. So by the time I took office, it was virtually a mess. And the president said, clean it up. So with characteristic zeal, I also started clean up. Hey, that was when my problem started. It wasn't easy. And it was a very awkward, difficult situation because most of the service provided were people that I knew personally. And there were people that had supported us. And I know they support both sides. And so you have a situation where you have gone to take money from the person to run your campaign. And then you come back and say you are now investigating the person, canceling his contracts. And it was very, very, very difficult. So I started asking myself questions. I mean, what is it that we can do that, because the average businessman will rather put his 5 million or 10 million back into his business to expand. But we go to them and put pressure on them. We need money. And indeed, we do need money. And then afterwards, when we take the money from them, they are business people, they are not charities. So they have to recoup their money. And when they now do things and then we now turn back and say we are investigating them, then what are we doing? Are we deceiving ourselves? So for me, you've heard about Bost. An MP was very honest and frank. He said the Bost man cannot be sacked because he contributed heavily to the campaign. These are realities. We all know of the various case studies.
Okay, so that's Elvis Efri-Yankra, and I know there are many of you who can, relate to what he said at the time, particularly for those of you who find yourselves in politics. Well, this morning we're having a very important conversation. Our job, very simple. We just want to understand how we can deal with it. What forms do they take, for instance? And also, you've asked the question, well, why is it relevant? Why do we need to have a conversation about, campaign financing and how probably persons involved in some serious or organized crime could be funding our campaigns and what it means for our democracy? Well, this morning, we're joined by the right team to help us, discuss all of these issues. We've been joined by Leo Anthony Siama, who is Deputy Head Legal and Prosecution, Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, and Mary Ada is Executive Director, Ghana Integrity Initiative, and Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante, who is Director of Advocacy and Policy Engagement of the Ghana Center for Democratic Development, CDD Ghana. Good morning to all of you, and Leo, Mary, and Dr. Asante, thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning.
I believe all of you are doing well.
Yes.
We are trying.
Oh, you're trying. Doc, somebody will say seeing you alone is enough to show that you're doing well.
Perceptions can be very deceptive.
Okay. Anyway, we'll get into the conversation shortly, but Champion Carbolic Soap, popularly known as Guardian Soap, is now 4 Ghana cedis for 1 bar. Unilever Ghana's Champion Carbolic Soap is and has always been your skin's guardian against germs that cause most skin diseases. No need to wait. Grab your Champion Carbolic Soap now at only 4 Ghana cedis. It's widely available at all major retail shops and local convenience stores near you. Champion Carbolic, Guardian Dadanoa.
Now, the GRA would like to remind all persons registered for VAT, NHIL, Get Fund Levy that VAT, NHIL, Get Fund Levy and Communication Service Tax returns for January 2024 should be submitted on the VAT, NHIL, Get Fund Levy and CST returns form no later than Thursday, the 29th of February 2024, which is the last working day of the month. That's tomorrow. Yeah. So file your VAT, NHIL, Get Fund Levy and CST returns early to avoid payment of penalties. For VAT, NHIL and Get Fund Levy, the penalty is 500 Ghana cedis and a further penalty of 10 Ghana cedis for each day the return is not submitted. For CST operators, late filing of returns attracts a pecuniary penalty of 2,000 Ghana cedis and a further penalty of 500 Ghana cedis for each day the return is not submitted. Now, taxpayers are encouraged to file their returns online via the taxpayersportal.com. And also to note that in line with the GRA cashless policy, both check and cash payments should be made at any of the 23 designated banks, the Ghana.gov platform, or via USSD code *222#. Remember to submit the January 2024 returns no later than Thursday, the 29th of February 2024, which is the last working day of the month, this month, and avoid paying penalties. Please get in contact with the GRA via email on info@gra.gov.gh or by WhatsApp on 055 299 0000. You can also try 020-063 1664.
And in commemoration of International Women's Day on 8th March, the National Women's Summit celebrates and honors the strength, resilience, and achievements of women everywhere. Join us for panel discussions and masterclasses with top female business executives and leaders on the global theme Inspire Inclusion. You can also explore the world of women by being a part of our all-women expo featuring the world of taste, fashion and beauty, health and wellness, business and finance, electronics and tech, home and kitchen decor, travel and leisure, and many more exciting activities and attractions. Are you a vendor and want to participate in the All Women Expo? Call 055-695-9115 or visit the National Women's Summit GH on all socials for information. The National Women's Summit and Expo 6.0 is happening at the Accra International Conference Center on Friday, 8th March from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come in person or join live on Joy FM and Chatterhouse live on YouTube and Instagram. Admission is absolutely free. The National Women's Summit and Expo 6.0 is brought to you by Geisha with support from Joy FM, Enterprise Life, MTN, Frytol, EcoBank, and powered by Chatterhouse.
So, Churchill, imagine you've gone to buy Kelewele. You are eating that thing. And then just as you are getting to the bottom of the pile, you start to see something familiar in the paper. It's your education history. They have used your CV to wrap Kelewele.
CV is possible, but my education history right now, dear, it's a very long time ago.
Yeah. Those of you who were educated in the court, King Herod's court.
The last time I wrote exams, how many years ago? I think it's about 6 or 5 years.
The last time you wrote exams, Pontius Pilate was still in office. All right. Well, listen. Don't wait for this to happen to you. Okay, ALX, Africa's leading tech training provider, has a range of tech courses to help you get the X factor and get ahead in the competitive world of work. So whether you're a full-time employee, a housewife looking forward to rejoining the workforce, or perhaps a fresh out of high school graduate, there is a place for you at ALX. You can take any of their 6 to 12-month tech courses in AWS Cloud Computing, Salesforce Administration, Data Analytics, Data Science, Front-End Web Development, and Back-End Web Development. The choice is yours. Just search ALX Ghana online to apply. Your future self will thank you. Apply today. Avoid Killy-Willy. ALX. Do hard things.
Okay, do hard things. Avoiding the killer will is the most important thing. Anyway, this morning we're having a conversation about safeguarding Ghana's stability against serious and organized crime threats in the 2024 elections. And so we've been conducting elections. This will be the 9th election since our return to democracy. And I know that there are many of you who probably have paid attention, particularly to the 2020 elections. You saw what happened, persons being killed as a result. You've also been monitoring political party primaries. You've asked yourself, the simple question, why is money involved in all of these? And why is it that people will do everything just to get in power? But the question is, those who support these persons, where do they get their monies from? And what role do they get to play in a democracy? Well, I've already told you that this morning we're joined by Leo Anthony Siama, who's Deputy Head Legal and Prosecution Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, Mary Ada, who's Executive Director, Ghana Integrity Initiative, and Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante, who's Director of Advocacy and Policy Engagement, Ghana Center for Democratic Development, CDD, Ghana. Once again, thank you very much, all of you, for joining us. And maybe I start off with you, Mary, because we're talking about serious and organized crime and the threats that it could pose to elections in 2024. Somebody says, well, we've been conducting elections. We've not complained. We seem to be happy with the elections we're conducting. Why all of a sudden they need to have a conversation about threats of serious and organized crimes?
Thank you very much, Winston, and let me say good morning to your listeners and also to my co-panelists. I believe that this is not a new discussion whatsoever, but increasingly we have, as a people, as you have played some clips just before we started, we have, as a people, begun to appreciate the fact that corruption is not leaving us any day soon, and it's becoming a multifaceted monster. It's increasingly changing faces, and people are using all sort of means and ways to ensure that they are benefiting from the system. We do not want to sit aloof to watch and then see our country go into flames like others have done. We were in Tamale about a week ago, and some of the sentiments of the youth when it comes to what is going on, particularly around elections and the crimes that are committed thereof, it's become apparent that we cannot keep quiet. We need to talk about the issue. The politicians themselves have sat aloof and watched on. They are also getting worried because it's increasingly, our elections are becoming more monetized. There's a lot of evidence to show that crime and criminal activity is funding some of the electorates, and state capture, as we mentioned the other day, is becoming evident. That people is increasing, even though it's not gone into the proportions we should be worried about, but it's becoming evident that criminal activity is getting people involved in politics, and those who benefit from the politics then also have to repay these people. So the decisions of states are made from these elements who are using criminal activity, coordinated very well. It's engaged by these people behind, and then they are drawing the strings of states. So we elect people into power who are sitting there not able to make any decision on our part. They make all the promises that when they get into power, they will do a lot of good things for us. But then the reality strikes them because they have to repay. People did a lot of wrong things to get them in power, and so they need to recoup their monies. And they are legalizing their wrong by allowing them. So we see elements like the CDD did a survey, and that survey showed that people in Galamsey were funding political actors. And Winston, I heard you say a politician mentioned the same to you. Such persons, when they support you, they want to legitimize their businesses. And so when you come into power, certainly you cannot do otherwise but to help them to legitimize their businesses. And that's why we have heard, and it's been evidence that the fight against Galamsey, we can talk and make all the noise, but when it comes to the benefits of those who are making the decisions, it doesn't, we don't gain much.
Okay.
We are not gaining anything at all.
Let me bring you in, Dr. Kojo-Pumpuni Asante, and find out the activities that you would classify as serious and organized crime.
I think there are many, and Yoko is here, so I'm sure they even have a tall list of activities, but from everything from illegal fishing to illegal small-scale mining to the ones they call the fraud boys, the 419, and the kinds of monies that, flow through there. It's so serious that, people don't really take it seriously, but and I'm sure, as I said, Yoko can speak to that a lot more. But one of the things that we even take for granted is drugs. I think it was in 2022, the World Drug Report did cite Ghana as a major transit point in West Africa for drug shipment coming through South America, through here, and to Europe. And a lot of fisher folks are involved in sort of lifting and transporting these drugs. So there are so many different things that are going on around us that we just take for granted. But one of the things that is very obvious is that everybody knows that there's a lot of money that is floating around, and we just can't make sense of it. We know people who just all of a sudden come into money. We don't know what work they were doing to generate those kinds of returns, but they come into money. And particularly, it's more pronounced in politics, where it just all of a sudden, this is night and day stuff. Within a year, somebody can acquire a number of buildings, properties, cars, this and that, and it's fine. And that is the thing. I think that's really the alarm that I think we are trying to sort of sound. That type of activity, we have to find a way of putting a stop to it, because it has such a debilitating effect on governance. A lot of our policy incoherence is really as a result of this. So somebody cannot make a decision that will benefit the broader welfare of people, because they are beholden to somebody else, or they actually have to serve as a protection, so a buffer for a criminal activity. So the 419 people who would come to you, and you see, you can even just imagine, sometimes it's even dangerous. The person comes to you, and if you say no, then you yourself are a marked person, right? So you can just imagine that in certain corridors where that kind of criminal activity is happening, if you are not on board, then really you are at risk.
Okay.
So we have to, and it's getting more dangerous, and I think that's where I think the alarm is important. For even the politicians, they shouldn't place themselves. We haven't even talked about terrorism, which is it's the one that's easier, because a lot of the jihadist activities that are going on in the Sahel, a lot of the finances coming from gold mining, illegal gold mining, drugs, all kinds of illegal activity, smuggling, and so on and so forth. And so that kind of infiltration, if they want that is where they now get their money from. There are some places you will find it very hard to even say that, no, I'm not going to take that kind of money, because then you cannot be part of the system that have been set up.
Okay.
So I think we really need to pay a very serious attention to this. Otherwise, we'll wake up one day and it will be much harder to fight this menace.
Leo, I mean, Dr. Sanchez made the point. You may want to add more, but of course, it's your office's responsibility also in curbing some of these things. And so, while we're here talking about this, we should be celebrating you for having kept it, isn't it?
Well, this is an issue that's not restricted or a Yoko problem alone. Yes, we have the mandate, but we need a concerted effort. All stakeholders. It's very important for us to come together, create the awareness first, let the populace know what we are dealing with, the canker we are dealing with, before we are able to now find solutions. But if we want to only concentrate on investigations and prosecutions, we'll be getting nowhere. The most important thing that we must take notice of now is that these are not foreign concepts. In the past, we used to hear about organized crime, serious and organized crime, and we think of the mafia, we think of the Cosa Nostra in Italy and other jurisdictions, and we assume it's not here. But Doc raised the point, talking about drug issues in Ghana. And then the question you should ask yourself is, why has Ghana become a hub for these drug trades? It means that whoever, for instance, the Cali cartel would have links here for them to be able to use Ghana as a transit point. So almost immediately you should realize that there's an existence of these organized criminal groups here. They are taking advantage of the vulnerabilities within our setup, and there's a need for us, all of us. It's not a one person fight. It's a concerted effort, a general effort for us to take this head on.
But talking about general effort, yes, we all agree. But for you with the mandate also, what's the difficulty in dealing with it?
Well, the difficulty has to be, for instance, some of the loopholes in the laws. If we are talking about campaign financing, for instance, which is an avenue, a very vulnerable area for SOCs to be able to infiltrate or push illegal monies there, you are looking at the inadequacy of some of our laws. For instance, the laws that regulate our campaign financing in Ghana do not tell us or do not cap the amount of money that an individual may contribute to a political party. In other jurisdictions, there's a cap. So if you do not have caps or you do not have stringent rules that regulate these things, then you have a problem. Those for us are some of the loopholes because they exploit these. If you look at the Political Parties Act, that is one of the laws that regulates this. It even gives an individual an opportunity to even give on two thresholds to a political party. The first is the individual level, where it defines, it says that a citizen may give money to a political party. It then goes out to also say again that a citizen may be a body corporate. So you are looking at a firm, a partnership that has 75% of the capital belonging to a citizen. So a citizen in two forms would donate, and there's again no cap. If you look at those things, and then also the difficulties in trying to prosecute some of these things, it becomes very difficult.
I actually wanted to just give you two examples because it's the two recent examples. I mean, yes, there are live cases, but at least we kind of all aware of them. I mean, if you take the Park case, for instance, in sense of, okay, money is found. Ordinarily, you would say, okay, the person would just have to show that they own it. It's like you are driving a car and the police stops you and say, oh, I'm the owner of the car, and you are not really able to prove it. That immediately sort of shift the burden onto the person, to prove that they are the owner of the car. Because we don't have laws, our laws are limited in terms of dealing with unexplained wealth, for instance. You cannot really pursue that order, and eventually you find very difficult to pursue the case. In the ABNJ case, for instance, when the money was frozen, the person can go and freeze, and it just sorry.
Okay, we'll get back to you shortly.
Okay, come back.
Yes, we'll get back to you shortly, so you tell us more about that. But and you've raised a very important issue. We'll get back and interrogate all of that. This morning we're joined by Leo Anthony Siama, who is Deputy Head Legal and Prosecution, Economic and Organized Crime Office. Mary Awelana Ada is Executive Director, Ghana Integrity Initiative, and Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante, who is Director of Advocacy and Policy Engagement at the Ghana Center for Democratic Development. When we come back, we'll find out from Leo also, what investigations they've conducted, and what they've found when it comes to serious and organized crimes. You've raised a very important issue about an issue which is in the public domain. We'll talk about that briefly. But most importantly, how do we mitigate all of this? What roles must all of us play in dealing with this? This is the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages.
Recoded to do more with ease. The enhanced GCB mobile app. Download now from Google Play Store or Apple Store for all your transactions. Smooth, safe, and secure. Chale, tap the app. You don't need to have an account to upgrade. GCB mobile app. Recoded to do more. Upgrade your style. GCB Bank. Your bank for life.
Dive into a new era of news consumption with myjoyonline.com, your go-to destination for cutting-edge journalism, giving you the most credible stories from business to politics and from sports to entertainment. Myjoyonline.com introduces an upgraded news website meticulously designed to empower you with an enriched browsing experience like never before. Experience the future of news browsing with myjoyonline.com.
National Health Insurance.
Great news! The National Health Insurance Scheme (NHIS) has waived the waiting period for all members aged 70 years and above. All 70 years and above are also exempted from paying a premium. Enrollment and renewal are absolutely free on the NHIS. Members who are 70 years and above can automatically access healthcare when they newly register with the NHIS or renew their membership annually. You are no longer required to serve the 1-month waiting period for late renewals. Dad, mom, grandpa, and grandma, let your old age be filled with good health and access instant healthcare at zero cost on the NHIS today. Download the My NHIS mobile app to register with your Ghana card or visit the nearest NHIS office. Terms and conditions apply. For details, contact the NHIS call center on 054 444 6447 or 0302 746 447. NHIS, your access to quality healthcare. This message is brought to you by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID.
Media Sambisanda mo. Eti emrati no. Mumu hwan pa na tumi hwe na mo bodompe mo mana yakono. Eye kwabna. Na mumu hwan so na tumi tasmale me ma yene nyina de. Eye kojo. Enu kro. Kobre tumi hwe na bodompe mo sense o yi super accident eba. Ayede yan ban ne do braye. Ko si echi na mo ho ban na sem mana hoode ne. Sa ani na kodwo so yi super accident chako. Na eno ne de e ma wo se wo ye krejen fita. Na watimi asiri bedwo ma na feel you. Ey kojo. Sa. Yeah. Pepsodent Heba and a Pepsodent Charcoal. Afedie. You're gonna natural.
FDIJ Jadion Katuyatu.
Let me share my experience with you at the new Aqua Safari Resorts. When you arrive, you're greeted by warm smiles and introduced to your 24-hour butler who already has your itinerary sorted. Enjoy water sports activities like jet ski rides, kayaking, water sliding, flyboarding, and castanet fishing. You can even have your lunch here on the boat cruise. Let the tour guides take you through the sceneries of the mangrove forest, the friendliness of the animals, while you pet and feed them. We chose to have our breakfast with a beautiful sunrise right in front of our cabin.
Visit Aqua Safari Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Happy Wednesday and welcome to Vital Signs by Sonotech Medical Center. I'm Dr. Grace Bachman. Let's conclude our discussion on heart health by exploring more tips to protect your heart. Control your cholesterol and blood pressure. It's very important to check your blood pressures and cholesterol regularly. Drink alcohol only in moderation. Too much alcohol can increase your risk of heart diseases. Manage stress. Managing stress can help prevent serious health problems like heart disease, depression, and high blood pressure. Deep breathing and meditation are good ways to relax and manage stress. Get quality sleep. When you get good sleep, your blood pressure goes down. Having sleep problems means your blood pressure stays higher for a longer period of time. Reach out to Sonotech Medical Center on 0242 439467. It's bye for now.
Right, so welcome back and thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And this morning we're having a conversation about safeguarding Ghana's stability against serious and organized threats in election 2024. That's a must-have conversation. We're joined by Leo Anthony Siama, who's Deputy Head, Legal and Prosecution of IOCO, Mary Ada is Executive Director, Ghana Integrity Initiative, and Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante, who is Director of Advocacy and Policy Engagement of the Ghana Center for Democratic Development, CDD Ghana.
Indeed. And of course, this conversation is brought to us with the help of some friends. The Ghana Anti-Corruption Coalition, in consortium with the Ghana Integrity Initiative and African Center for Energy Policy, with funding support from the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO of UK Aid. All right, well, we've got lots to get through, and before we get back into the conversation, let me remind you, Season of Love continues, so you can certainly do something special for someone special by taking them to Safari Valley Eco Park for the Safari Wildlife Experience. It's just a day away from home amongst the zebra, sable antelope, llama, wallaby, fallow deer, Patagonian mara, and all the other animals, creating that harmonious cohabitation of forest, water, humans, and wildlife. Go and experience this all from 250 Ghana cedis. It's even free for children up to 6 years. Look, it'll take you just an hour to get there from Accra, and they're open from 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. each day. Go visit Safari Valley Eco Park with your friends and family for the thrill of a lifetime. You want to know more? Go to safarivalleyresort.com or just check out Safari Valley on Instagram. You can also call 059-691-4394.
And Champion Carbolic Soap, publicly known as Guardian Soap, is now 4 Ghana cedis for 1 bar. Unilever Ghana's Champion Carbolic Soap is and has always been your skin's guardian against germs that cause most skin diseases. No need to wait. Grab your Champion Carbolic Soap now at only 4 Ghana cedis. It's widely available at all major retail shops and local convenience stores near you. Champion Carbolic, Guardian Dadanoa.
All right, well, let's get back into the conversation. Now, before the break, of course, we're talking with Leo Anthony Siama from IOCO, Mary Awenlana Ada from the Ghana Integrity Initiative, and Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante from CDD Ghana. Before the break, Dr. Asante mentioned an example of, some of these cases that create some difficulty for institutions seeking to combat the involvement of serious organized crime in our politics. And Cecilia Dapa's case was given as an example. And so I thought perhaps before we get back into it, since we have you with us, Leo, maybe you can give us an update. IOCO has been seized with the details of this case to look into it. What's the status of the Cecilia Dapa case as we speak?
Let me start from the OSP. The OSP had about 7 months to conduct investigations, and they have since forwarded the docket to IOCO. But one thing we should all realize is that when it comes to financial crime investigations, we are dealing with a very complex, time-consuming, very slow process. So at this point, we are taking our time to examine the contents of the docket and then decide as to how to go about the investigations. So it's
that's the status.
So at this point, that's the status. I cannot speak more at this time on an active investigation that's ongoing.
Okay. All right. Well, the conversation, of course, is about the involvement of serious organized crime in our politics. Now, I know that we're trying to get the attention of the public and get them educated on these concepts. Are we also targeting the political parties? Because it seems to me that they are probably best placed to start any process that will end this kind of involvement. If a political party says we will disqualify anybody who cannot explain their source of funding or who accesses funding from prohibited sources, if they were to say that, that would immediately end the situation, wouldn't it?
Yeah. If you look at our laws that regulate political parties, there's an obligation on the political parties to provide a comprehensive list of donors, people who give out monies to them to finance their political activities as well. So again, it has to do with enforcement. If we can enforce that bit of the law where the requirement is on them to produce these documents, then that will be a starting point. But you see, the problem has to, and over the years we've heard MPs, we've heard people in power talk about the burdens of office in terms of the financial drains and constraints that come with it. I think there was a 2018 report by the CDD and I think Westminster Foundation, and it says between 2016 and the 2020 elections, I think the cost
2012 and
2016, yes, the cost of standing for as MP went up by 59%. Yeah. And again, the report said if you want to secure the nomination of your party alone, you are looking at about 400,000 cedis just to secure the nomination of your party. And as of 2008, that was accumulation of 2 years' salary for an MP. So almost immediately you see where the problem is. So if we do not have the heart to demand accountability in terms of where some of these finances are coming from, again, that's where the problem is. We have the laws, it's about enforcement.
And talking about the laws and enforcement, Leo, I just want you to tell us what serious and organized crime is, for those who may not know, and what it includes, so we have a better understanding of it.
So generally, an SOC or serious or an organized crime is any criminal activity that is planned, coordinated, and committed by people working in individual groups or across transnational or transnational networks. And the main purpose of these groups is to centers around acquiring money, profits, power, and influence. And when you conduct an examination on them, I'll say an academic examination on them, you are looking at them having an ideology or not. So depending on the group, some for the purposes of terrorism, for instance, may have an ideology, others may not. You'd also look at structure. There's a hierarchy in place. There's continuity of the group. So a person is arrested, for instance, sentenced or convicted and sentenced. You realize the group's activity also still goes on. You're looking at the use of illegal enterprises as an unlawful activities to derive these monies. And then you also look at the feature of them having or trying to use legitimate businesses to launder these monies to kind of wash them. And then most importantly, they build very strategic alliances. These are some of the features. And you asked a question just before we went on a break into investigations that YOCO has conducted into some of these groups. And over the past 3 or 4 years, we've noticed a trend. And like I was saying, I said earlier, if you listen to the definitions or the descriptions of SOCs, you may think that it is not here. But within the past 3-4 years, some of the investigations that we have conducted, especially in reference to an area like Asinfosu, which has become a hotbed, you realize these structured groups exist where they have built or have membership within even the banking communities, telcos, where they are able to get information to facilitate some of these criminal offenses. You are also looking at, we've also investigated some of the human trafficking rings around, and they even have a more structured look, where they have about 3 or 5 layers in terms of leadership and hierarchy, where there's a reporting direction in terms of it flowing from the bottom to the top. So there's control, and these people have, again, strategic alliances. So you realize that we bust the ring, we are conducting investigations, and certain caliber of persons show up and have
which caliber of persons.
So you were talking about people who claim, oh, I'm from here, I'm from there. When I say I'm from here, you were talking about maybe politicians. I have this politician's number, I have this person's number, I have this person's contact. And then you realize that, or you try to create a contact as to why he should have that kind of person's number. But again, these are some of the problems that we are facing.
Talking about, why should have this kind of person's number, and that'll bring us to the discussion we're having today. Is it that these persons actually sponsor, sometimes play a role in getting some of these politicians elected into office, or support them with campaigning, and so the politicians feel indebted to these people, and thus are in sort of some connivance with them?
Ultimately, this is what we should be looking at, and that's the connection we are trying to draw. Investigations, again, investigations will ultimately reveal these. At times, people can get naughty, and we've had a couple of instances where someone has said or mentioned the name of a high-ranking government official and said, "Oh, this person, I know this person. Call him or talk to him." You also push along and try to do that, and it turns out not to be the person. So when it comes to these kind of things, you must ensure that whatever investigations you are carrying out is well coordinated, that it does not divert the attention of the investigations or lead you to make the defamatory statements about an innocent person.
Mary, I saw you nodding, and I beg your pardon, Lewis made that point. I mean, but why would anybody say, I know this politician, if he's not played any role in that person's election or doesn't have the support of that person?
I believe that in the society in which we live, sometimes, I remember recently, the Yoko boss made a statement that we make statements which sometimes are unfounded, but also because of the communal nature of our living. We know people, we do things for people, and so the tendency to mention them is usually very high when we are in trouble. It is the same thing that manifests when we are either in police, caught by the police, or we have to respond to something. We quickly rely on these social networks that we have developed over time to ensure that we circumvent some processes. Even though it may not be the right things to do, that's what we have done, and that's why corruption has also increased in most of our instances, and the instances of SOC have also gone virtually mostly unpunished. We see a lot of politicians using some of these elements in our community. He mentioned some communities. The Zongos are also there. People use them during electioneering campaigns. They become indebted to them because they've used them to foment trouble, to get themselves elected into power. And so when they are caught, and in fact, they use some of their money as well for their campaigns. They sponsor them. Because studying this phenomena, you realize that most of our politicians take these people's monies, and these people push them to also make policies that favor them. They push them to help them clean their resources. And so if they call on you, they say, I know this person. In most of the instances, I can't say that for Leo. Perhaps Leo is a public servant. He is also an investigator. He's a lawyer. He would say that you would need to investigate to substantiate or validate some of the claims, but in many of the instances, behind the scenes, strings are pulled for some of these purposes because they've supported them, because they have invested in their campaigns, and because they are there for them. And these are SOC related issues that we can't run. I remember one of the cases that came up which was related to the GRA, when there was this bunkering allegations. And you realize the audios that came out, the sort of people who were calling to say, oh, let these people go, and the person recorded it and sent it out. These are criminal elements who are supported by people who should know better. They are not doing so, and millions of Ghanaian cedis is going down the drain or into their pockets. If I say down the drain, it means it's going somewhere else, but into personal pockets of public servants and also political elements in our society.
Now let me get to you, Dr. Asante. You're a lawyer too, and I want you to do the linkage between this and elections, and most importantly, the impact on our democracy.
Yeah, thank you. And I think so you have to look at the campaign. So it's not even just campaign financing, but party financing as well. That whole area is vulnerable, because for serious and organized crime, what is the threat to their activities? It's law enforcement and the law. So the people who are in authority, who can actually, pursue that threat, are the ones that you want to strategically bring on your side. And election financing provides that that space, because if you can contribute to that person's campaign, sometimes I'm sure some of these politicians, they don't even know that these individuals are into those things, because maybe the person they will send, maybe a person that you think, oh well, he's some local businessman or whatever. You don't know what connections he has to serious and organized crime. So, and because there is no filter, there's really no checks on who is donating. The party also hasn't created any system for checking. And we've always said that even though the party in most of our laws is the one that's supposed to account, the money always goes to the individual candidate or the individual aspirant. So that's where a lot of the flow of the money, and that somebody comes to you in your house or whatever. So there's really no filters in terms of how, the flow of money into the campaigns and the politics and so on and so forth. Now the implications are, for me, very simple, and we've seen it over time. Once the process for electing your leaders is corrupted, then you should not expect that the people who come out of it are going to be able to stop corruption when they get into government. Now, the more the money, because and all the studies show. So when we did the 2016 one, we did some in 2020, and the estimations was now $600,000, over $600,000 basically to stand as an MP. For presidential elections, it's moved to maybe about 150 million now to $200 million, to stand. Now, when those monies are being talked about, then you can just imagine what kinds of flows. And because it's competitive, if Mr. A is doing this, then you also want to try and counter what Mr. B is, because you understand that the populace are also open to being bribed so that they vote for you, whether as delegates or whatever. That all of that makes it more serious when you get into government. It means the kinds of money you have to recover when you're in government is even more, right? So everything from even just basic policy. So sometimes you sit down there, you look at the policy, and you don't understand how is it possible that a group of people sat down and came up with this policy that completely undermines our public, our national interest, or does not inure to the public interest in any way. And yet, this is a policy that everybody is pursuing. One of the things that Manasseh has talked about for a long time, like his fumigation contracts, all the time. You understand? But why is it that everybody is saying that this is not good for us, and yet everybody is defending it? So you get a lot of these policy coherence in government because there's interest to be protected. And sometimes when it comes to SOC, and I'm sure the investigative bodies and will talk about it, that serious crimes, committed, and then all of a sudden people appear who have authority to say, let this person go, or let this person stay. And that's when you begin to understand the kind of the reaches that serious organized crime has into politics. So what we really need to look at is, if this is a vulnerable area, how do we make sure it's properly regulated so it reduces the opportunities for SOC to really penetrate into our politics and then undermine basically our stability, because you just need one terrorist attack and everything that we are talking about just changes.
Great. So we'll continue the conversation this morning. You just heard from Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante, who's Director of Advocacy and Policy Engagement of the Ghana Center for Democratic Development, CDD Ghana. You've also heard from Mary Ada, who's Executive Director of Ghana Integrity Initiative, and Leo Anthony Siama, who's Deputy Head Legal and Prosecution of EOCO. We're talking about serious and organized crimes and its effect on one, elections, and by extension, our democracy, and how we can safeguard these threats. And the most important thing is how we can protect our democracy from the threats that SOCs pose to our democracy. When we return, we'll find out the roles that all of us have to play, starting from the state and then to us, the citizens. But it's not time for Time with a Dentist, brought to us by Pepsodent.
Hi, it's Time with the Dentist, and we're going to talk about saliva. This clear liquid that I'm sure you've not given much thought to has a big impact on your oral health. My name is Dr. Gwendolyn Amakwe Baiche, and this program is proudly sponsored by Pepsodent in partnership with Ghana Dental Association. Saliva is produced by structures in the mouth known as salivary glands. About 99% of saliva is water, and the other 1% is various components such as enzymes and minerals that help with its function. First and foremost, saliva moistens the tissues of the mouth to make us more comfortable when eating and when talking. Digestion of food begins in the mouth with the help of saliva. The enzymes in saliva break down the large complex molecules in food into smaller ones for easy uptake of the nutrients into our bloodstream. The acidity in the mouth increases whenever we eat, and saliva has neutralizing components that minimize the damaging effect of acid on the teeth. Acid on the teeth causes the minerals like calcium to move out of the teeth in a process called demineralization, and this can lead to cavity formation. Saliva, on the other hand, has the ability to incorporate these minerals back into the tooth structure in a remineralizing process to help maintain the integrity of the outer layer of the tooth, enamel. There are a lot of microorganisms present in the mouth. Saliva helps flush excess bacteria together with food debris left over after eating, preventing them from getting attached to the teeth and gums. Saliva also has some germ-reducing minerals that help fight germs in the mouth, minimizing your risk of tooth decay as well as bad breath. So you see, without saliva, you will have problems with your oral health. There are some conditions and medications that can affect the amount of saliva that you produce. The medications include some taken for hypertension and depression, as well as some sedatives. Diseases of the big salivary glands, radiotherapy treatments to the head and neck region, as well as excessive alcohol intake can lead to low saliva production and dry mouth. Dry mouth can cause several oral health problems like fungal infections, gum disease, tooth decay, and general discomfort in the mouth. So to ensure your saliva levels are maintained to protect your oral health, stay hydrated, drink more water. Talk to your doctor about possible alternatives to medications that can cause dry mouth. You can also chew sugarless gum, as chewing promotes the release of saliva from the salivary glands. Your dentist can also prescribe what we call artificial saliva and mouthwashes. These are designed to keep the mouth moist. Saliva is 99% water. The other 1% includes various components such as enzymes and minerals that help with its function. Saliva moistens the tissues of the mouth and makes speaking and chewing comfortable. It also helps in the digestion of food, has a cleansing action, and helps prevent cavities. When your mouth has enough saliva, your teeth and mouth remain better protected. Always remember to brush your teeth twice daily with a fluoridated toothpaste like Pepsodent. This campaign is brought to you by Pepsodent in partnership with Ghana Dental Association.
All right, so welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And this morning we are having a conversation about serious and organized crimes, its effect on elections, and by extension our democracy, and how we can deal with them. But you know, we all have those days when you're low on everything, energy, time, cash, and even airtime and data. Well, that's why MTN Extra Time is an airtime and data advanced service that allows you to make calls or browse the internet. Even when you have insufficient balance, all you have to do is dial *506#, go through the prompts and select the amount of airtime or data that you need. It's more than simple. Doing your favorite things on MTN means you don't get interrupted. Even when you're low on airtime or data, please remember all terms and conditions apply.
All right, don't forget to go to kingdomstoreonline.com. Just go check out the amazing stuff they've got for sale, particularly quality office essentials, equipment, and furniture. Not forgetting stationery, because that's where Kingdom Books and Stationery gives you the chance to pay for whatever you buy via Momo across all networks, and then you just sit back at home or in your office and wait for your delivery. Now, if you happen to be in Accra or Tema, that's free delivery for you. Terms and conditions do apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
And we still have Leo Anthony Siama, who is Deputy Head Legal and Prosecution of IOCO, Mary Adas, Executive Director, Ghana Integrity Initiative, and Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante, who is Director of Advocacy, Policy Engagement, Ghana Center for Democratic Development, CDD. So let's get into the solutions. I mean, what we must do, what must be done to ensure we're able to deal with this. And I'll start off with you, Leo, because we're looking at first the role of the state and its institutions and agencies. What roles must they play?
First of all, again, as usual, the ultimate mandate lies with us. So we must ensure, as a matter of urgency, to enforce the laws that are in existence, come together and try and bridge the vulnerable loopholes that are within. So, for instance, and I say this in particular reference to an emerging trend we are seeing in the laundering of assets. We've realized that there's an increasing shift in laundering assets through cryptocurrency. If you look at general law enforcement landscape, you realize that we have inadequate training or know-how in terms of how we deal with stuff like this. So that is one area. We are also looking at the continuation of what IOCO has started.
Hold on with that one. Laundering of assets to cryptocurrency. Tell me more about that.
Okay. So what we have noticed, or we are noticing, is that now criminals tend to divert the monies or the things, or liquidate the assets that they have gotten and then store it in crypto wallets. Basically, that's what we are seeing now. If you look at, I cannot offhand remember the document, but it said at least 900,000 Ghanaians, that's about 3% of the population, have some form of cryptocurrency account. So
Ghana is actually top 5 Africa.
Exactly. So this
about
is
31%.
Yes.
Have some access to cryptocurrency.
Exactly. Which is.
So I mean, rather than, because you want access to electronic transfer, you take the cash, you go and buy cryptocurrency, and now you are online. You can trade with it.
Exactly.
Anywhere.
Exactly. So it's creating it's creating a lot of problems for us. If you are aware, there's this Bank of Ghana directive that says that anybody or anyone entering through our entry points in the country should declare in any amount in excess of $10,000, for instance. That used to be very easy to enforce. But if you were looking at the cryptocurrency problem, where somebody has laundered money in terms of huge amounts of money on wallets, how are we able to even identify what he's holding or how to go about it? So these are all gray areas as well. And then finally, I believe that investigations and prosecution is one thing, but we must ensure that there's a relentless drive on education and awareness creation. And this is where the media comes in to help us, and the dissemination of information in terms of what we have gotten or what we have encountered during investigations as well as prosecution.
Mary, what should the state agencies be doing?
Yes, so for instance, they should be collaborating even more forcefully. We've seen in the case of Shraj and others putting together a coordination mechanism where they are working together on exchanging information and also allowing those who are better placed to investigate to do so. And I know Yoko is part of this MOU. And so they should be seen to be doing more of that and then less of the theft wars. Because we have seen in other cases where either the police is investigating, the same thing is being done by Yoko, the same thing is being done by Shraj, and increasingly the Office of the Special Prosecutor too. So they should do more coordination. They should also collaborate with civil society to do a lot more awareness raising and sensitization to build capacity of the citizens to identify SOC, and then also create avenues for citizens to report SOC, and also make sure that the Witness Protection Act that has been passed is activated. The state is supposed to put in place an agency that is supposed to, a commission, that is supposed to promote issues around the witness protection. We haven't seen anything. So that is an issue that we should be paying attention to, because if citizens want to stand on behalf of the state to make to defend or make contributions to the cases of state, they should be assured that they will be protected. Whistleblower Act is another area we need to popularize. Till now, since 2006, many people do not even know it exists. There is an element of compensation in there which we need to see being activated. We know that in most of the investigative institutions, they have another layer of compensation where people who make complaints to them or give them evidence are given some sort of compensation. Let's activate the Whistleblower Act compensation so that it bolsters the confidence of citizens to ensure that they are reporting. Civil society is complementing this as well with the various platforms we have. Corruption Watch is one of them. The Ghana Integrity Initiative also has the ALAC, the Advocacy and Legal Advice Center. These are platforms that would help people who want to make their corruption and SOC related issues known come to ensure that they are doing that. Ultimately, the state agencies should be seen to be pursuing this. If they do not, then the trust of the citizen diminishes. We have seen a lot of evidence on air, on TV, on radio, on issues around campaign vote buying, where citizens are very bold, demanding that because their monies have not been given, they would not vote. We have seen MPs on listening to MPs on radio saying, if they give 1 million, I'll give 2 million. And yet nothing has happened. In some of those cases, let's go forward to see how we can pursue some of this and do it very well. The OSP has been doing some of that. I remember they called some of these culprits and they are investigating. That is what we want to see. And then we should see more of, after the investigation, what next? The prosecution. And so we believe that the prosecuting agencies, the judiciary, also has a role in fast-tracking some of these to ensure that we are bolstering confidence of the citizenry in our institutions. Until then, the confidence is very low, because we see that they start the issues and somehow they just go off. We have seen it with LaBianca, we have seen it with Cecilia Dapa when it comes to the OSP. And I am very sure we'll see it with many others which are related to elections and also SOC as we traverse the electioneering campaigns during 2024. They should be more up and doing. Citizens should also demand some accountability from the state agencies, because they have been put there to ensure that things are done. And so when the state agencies too are confronted by our citizens who wear cassocks and the big men, so-called, that they should let some things go, they should also be willing and available to name and shame some of these people. I believe that is the beginning of our fight. It is a good step, even though it's not the ultimate. But if they name and shame them, it will discourage others from wanting to engage in such behaviors in future.
Great. And talking about the cryptocurrency, so globally Ghana actually ranks 29 by way of transaction. And in Africa, we rank 5. We have transactions totaling about $5 billion. I think that was in 2022. So a lot of people are engaged in it, particularly among the youth. And you've just told us of how some persons are also transferring their assets into these cryptocurrencies. Anyway, Dr. Pupuni Asante, so what role must citizens, I mean, Mary has talked about it briefly, but what roles must citizens play in ensuring that we're able to deal with SOCs?
I think for me, for 2024, the challenge, or I wouldn't call it a challenge because I don't think it's a challenge. The laws are very clear in terms of like things like vote buying and soliciting and so on. So PNDC law 284 is very, very clear that you cannot solicit for money to exercise your franchise, and if even you are facilitating, you are also basically violating the law. I think law enforcement should take a very aggressive posture for dealing with both the sellers and the buyers of votes for 2024. I think we have been talking about this for so long. There has to be something that changes in the air that suggests that this is really a serious problem and we are trying to tackle it. Often when you start talking about going after the sellers of votes, people say, oh, but poor people, they are also trying. Well, it's a cycle. If we don't break it, we will continue to have a very, very serious problem. So for me, I think that is one low-hanging fruit, that because the law is clear, it's very comprehensive in terms of solicitation, facilitation. There are all kinds of people that can be caught within that law. The second thing is really that we need to look at a comprehensive legislation on party and campaign financing. I've looked extensively through all the laws. It's very difficult to amend and revise different types of laws. You need a very comprehensive law that deals with both the donation part and the expenditure part. I always say that there's a lot of expenditure that goes on in election that we don't need, right? And that is one of the reasons that's driving all this monetization. Because of competition, people try to outdo each other. But there's a lot of things that we don't really need to do in order for people to send their messages and so on and so forth. So we really do need to work on that. We started work on that already. We have some draft proposals. We are trying to get the International Foundation for Electoral Systems to actually develop best practice legislation that we can also then adapt to our own circumstances, so that we can all come to a consensus as to what is realistic for one to sort of prosecute a campaign that you can reach people and all of that, and really reduce the cost of organizing elections across board. We have to regulate internal party processes, because now it's almost like a private self-regulation. So a lot of the times the parties themselves don't make any effort to try to deal with the corruption within parties and so on. So that process has to be standardized, and it has to be something that applies any party that is putting themselves up to be a government in waiting or whatever it is, has to follow those rules. So that really should be the major medium step. But at least in the short term, there are laws that prevent some of these things from happening, and we have to signal to everybody that they cannot just go on engaging in illegalities, and we are all watching. If we begin to see that, I think you see that people would take this a bit more seriously.
Right. Thank you very, very much, Dr. Kojo Pupuni Asante, who's Director of Advocacy and Policy Engagement, Ghana Center for Democratic Development, CDD Ghana. Thank you also, Mary Ada, who's Executive Director of the Ghana Integrity Initiative, and Leo Anthony Siama, who's Deputy Head Legal and Prosecution of IOCO, for making time to join us this morning on this all-important conversation about curbing SOCs within our elections and democracy. We're also grateful to the Ghana Anti-Corruption Coalition in consortium with the Ghana Integrity Initiative and the Africa Center for Energy Policy for putting all of this together with funding support from the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO, and UK Aid. Thank you, all of you, for joining us.
It's a big conversation about serious organized crime and its relationship with politics. But look, this is an ongoing conversation. There'll be so much more of it. And of course, you could go play it back on all of our platforms, from Facebook to YouTube. It's all there for your enjoyment. Of course, our podcast is also available. Go to myjoyonline.com, find the link, click on it, and go play it all back. Now, listen. Women of Valor is back on Thursday, the 7th of March. Renowned Ghanaian film director Shirley Frimpong Manso, Nigeria's Rita Dominic, and South Africa's Bonang Mateba will share their untold stories of courage right here in Accra. And you can register to participate at womenofvalor.co. All right, they're on from 9 a.m. at the UPSA Auditorium on the 7th of March, and you absolutely need to be there for it. Okay, of course, it's supported by many partners, including Joy 99.7 FM.
And Champion Carbolic Soap, popularly known as Guardian Soap, is now 4 Ghana cedis for a bar. Unilever Ghana's Champion Carbolic Soap is and has always been your skin's guardian against germs that cause most skin diseases. No need to wait. Grab your Champion Carbolic Soap now at only 4 Ghana cedis. It's widely available at all major retail shops and local convenience stores near you. Champion Carbolic Soap, Guardian Dadanoa.
Now, Joy News, in collaboration with an amalgam of professional bodies, is organizing a public lecture on the topic, Has the Fourth Republic Delivered? Faith Leaders and Good Governance. Speakers include Abe Kusego, Susan Iduamankwa, and the main speaker is Theodore Albright. The moderator for the event will be our very own Obi, Philip Osebunsu of Asempa FM. Now, it's on the 5th of March from 6:30 p.m. at the British Council. Admission is free. Call 0244-220-427 for more information. This event is powered by Joy News. Joy News, independent, fearless, credible journalism.
So many of you have asked me how you can get a ticket for the Eastern Camp Adventure. Please write this number down, 059-303-8842. The name on this Momo number is Daniel Boyfi of the Multimedia Group. Please use the reference Joy Camp, or you can pay via short code *714*003# and follow the prompts. For more information, you can call 0302-216-540. I know there are many of you who want to hear those stories that I've been telling you. In fact, there'll be more because I'll be there. I'll tell you more stories about where we've come from as a people. Just show me where your hometown is. I'll tell you the stories of your hometown. Don't worry. When you mention your hometown, but send them in advance. Don't just surprise me. Send them in advance. You want me to tell you about your hometown in Ajeso? Check the time. But when you are done, Hannah Dami, see me. I'll tell you. I'll give you the history of your hometown. Don't worry.
All right, let me save Winston from this one. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We've had such a good time with you. We're back tomorrow with even more on the Super Morning Show. Stay with Joy until then. Of course, the 10 o'clock bulletin is coming up, followed by all of your favorite programs. Right, until we're back together, my name is Kojo Yankson. I'm the morning man.
And I'm Winston.
Have a good one.